Today's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan podcast is brought to you by
GuardianWaterServices.com.
Love these guys.
We've been using our RO systems in our house personally
And
for
at the
years
studio
now.
for years, yeah.
It's great having filtered RO water right by your sink. You don't have to buy any Brita filters anymore, bottled water.
It's the most pure you can get. It's perfect water. It's as good as any of the bottled water, but you don't have all of the plastic, all of the waste. And if you get a full conditioning system for your home, you can save not only a ton of money on soaps, and disinfectants and stuff that you use, but you're also going to save your fixtures, your piping.
Yeah, your appliances. Yeah.
It's just way better.
Yeah. Try repiping your entire house because the calcium buildup has made it so now they get a repipe. That's thousands of dollars. Like, if you get a full conditioning system, it takes out all the calcium.
Not to mention they do that weird thing where they have to pipe it through the roof, right?
Yeah. Because my house had to do that.
Because they don't want to go, they can't go around.
Rip up your
skeleton of pipes, that they can't navigate.
Yeah, and
it's a mess.
Westinghouse system, so it's really good.
Tried and true, been in the business forever.
So contact them, have them come by and test your water. If you're skeptical, they'll do that for free. It's GuardianWaterServices.com.
Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Whoopee!
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 534.
Yeah, you heard the robot. It's show number 534 of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. The butler is here. And the king of sharts himself on news, Mr. Seth Petruzzelli.
One of our listeners.
Playing with the king of sharts. No one really is smart.
I got some white underwear that I've been wearing since yesterday. I haven't taken off. So.
Okay.
Wait, isn't that's a news story?
Did you work out every day?
Yeah, but last night when I got home, after I working out, when I lay in, when I sleep at night, and some drizzle comes out of the front. So it's fine.
Drizzle. That's rain.
Oh, yeah, he pee-pees his pants all the time.
Yes.
I'm an old man now. It's drizzles.
It's a roid.
Yeah. No, it's not Roy Drizzles.
I think it's
Actually, I think my dad worked with a man named Roy Drizzles. I think it was one of his salesman friends. Welcome to the show, everybody. Right up front, let's get the business out of the way, buddy.
Yeah, we got the straw hats are back on the site. We ordered a lot, so they're still available right now. And it's our beach hat, our pool hat. If you've seen them online, it's the cabana print underneath.
Yes.
And the Florida symbol on top. So those are there. We're about to have brand new BDM dry fit shirts we got in. Just gave Seth one. Those will be available Monday, most likely.
Yep.
Check this out.
We got a BDM
Thank you, Seth.
school supply drive going on at Johnny's other side this Sunday at 11 a.m. So if you want to help out, it's cool that this is going on, and we appreciate.
I wish
it's organized by BDMs, and it's for BDMs.
Yeah, it's for BDMs and parents, and teachers have a rough go. Like sometimes, a lot of the times, they have to buy their own supplies, and it can be kind of tough. So thanks to all of you guys for organizing that. I know we gave a donation. I think if you'd like to give a donation, you may do so.
Yeah.
If maybe you don't have the time to be there, volunteer, be there, or bring some supplies by.
It's on the events tab, I believe, on the app and as well as in the BDM group.
Boom.
So you can find it.
There you go.
Me and Daniel will be at Tuffy's next Saturday, August 24th. for a little party. I know the CBE BDM group is going to be there, BYOCB,
yes,
and those guys are going to be out there. So it's going to come out, hang out, have some drinks.
It's going to be a damn good time.
So right before the show started, Seth told us that
he comes running in here. Well, first he knocked my hat off and bullied me.
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
I enjoyed that.
In front of everybody. And
I haven't done that to you ever.
No, and that's okay.
I have to establish my dominance with you somewhat.
You know that doesn't bother me, right? Because like I was bullied so much as a young boy that when people do stuff like that to me, it's almost like I almost feel more. It's almost like a Stockholm syndrome type deal. Like I like you more now that you bullied me because I just want friends,
dude.
Let's almost run up and kick you right in the balls.
I get
not one of your kicks. I'll take one of maybe Butler's or Tom's. Tom's stiff; he can't even kick. I'll take a Tom kick. Tom kick only.
Speaking of bullying, Tommy's first day of kindergarten was Monday.
He got bullied?
Well, there was a situation. His first day was fine, and we were all nervous about it, him being nervous and whatever, because Tommy's very timid and nervous. Just
he's a sensitive cat. Yeah.
Sensitive. So I really worry about him, like, out in the world. I know worrying about him only makes it worse, because then I coddle, anyway. So he's fine the first day. Second day wasn't fine. Didn't want to go. We asked him, and he's like... because you're in kindergarten, you're around other fifth graders, so you're around bigger kids. He's not used to that. So he said he was on the playground, and he told me and I don't know how serious this is, or because he'll take anything super seriously, like a Daniel, he'll take any small slight or whatever, he'll take it as
you got to ramp it up.
Try to kill my family.
Yeah. But somebody puts their hand on my car, and I'm like, you obviously hate me. And now I have to kill you.
So he told me that a bigger girl went up to him in the playground and told him that nobody wants to play with you. And then
that could be true.
Bigger girl, older girl.
That's a child, Seth. Jesus Christ. So anyway,
tell her to get back at the.
And then
nobody wants to play with you.
And then he's like, so I just walked around in circles by myself or whatever.
Oh my God! Well, that's the logical thing to do since nobody wants to play with me. And even the fat girls are yelling at me. I'm just going to walk in circles.
Dirt in their eyes.
And this is so hypocritical of me to say, because I've always said, it's good. So, a sprinkling of bullying to everybody is good. It'll make you a tougher person. It'll make you better. But when it's my own son, I immediately got enraged, and I was like, I'm going to go find that girl's dad and fucking kick his ass. Yeah. And then, so I'm in Best Buy, the guy's like, hey, you want to try this? I'm like, no! Your daughter did this to you. That, it made me...
Your daughter did this to you. And I'm
That's
the crazy
insane.
one? I'm the crazy one.
No. You have to have the daughter watch you do it.
Oh, my God, traumatic.
You did this to your father.
What? She didn't even do anything. He just walked in circles.
Yeah.
You told my son something that in my mind, anyway. So I now am having a hard time, and I know it's going to come, and it's fine, whatever, but it's going to be a thing that my son's going to have to deal with, and I know it's going to make him better, but it makes me enraged. Anyway, so
I need to talk to him.
I
was bullied bad, and
you gotta give him a dose of Seth.
I'll be like, hey, this is the guy I want you to turn out to be.
Well, let's not go that far.
You'll be shits all over everything.
You shit your shoes.
He shits on everything. He's
if that's the only side effect, that's not bad.
For Christmas, Tommy, you're like, what do you want for Christmas? He's like, an MRI. We're like, all right. It's a weird request. Tell the elf on the shelf you want an MRI.
I'll take him for the MRI myself.
Yeah, it's fine.
I have to get him in there.
He's so small, you both could fit in there. Head to head. Yeah. Just stand up both.
By the way,
for one.
Max, total opposite. He punched me right in the carotid artery and the pool, and it stunned me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the heart stopped for a second.
It was like, God damn, it fucking stunned me. And I was like, I'm so close to being beaten up by Max. Anyway, so Seth, you told us right before the show started, you're like, by the way, this podcast ruined a date for me. And we're like, wait.
Oh, easy on that. Don't be, that's good material.
So, first I was surprised that, 20-year-olds still listen to podcasts.
Well, they didn't until I told told him about it. That's why I said it was my mistake.
Oh, okay. So what happened here? By the way, where do you take
podcast? Is that like a record?
Where do you take girls on dates because they can't drink yet?
Yes, they can. This one was.
They have teen nights still.
This one was 23, so it's
okay. Where do you guys go?
Well, I go to the same place for each one, so I don't.
Like P.F. Chang's?
No, I go I have 2 or 3 that I rotate between them.
All right, what do you got? Applebee's?
I go to either like Cress or Shari Sushi.
Oh, Shari's that's a good
Cress is
spot.
really nice.
Yeah,
barn.
Yeah.
You got to impress them by your wealth.
Yeah. My basement. No, no. Usually just those two.
So you're on a date. And
I'm not on a date.
Oh, okay.
I was supposed to go on a date. And I said, I'm busy because I have to write the news for this thing I'm doing on Friday. She said, news for what? And I told her I'm on a podcast.
You got to slip it.
I'm on this big deal.
Because you
kind of a big deal.
You slip in the Kimbo thing. They're like, who?
Yeah.
They don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck. The 30-years-olds know now.
He beat up this old black guy.
So I told her about the podcast, and I'm like, look, and she's like, oh, well, what is it? I want to listen. I'm like, oh, shit, because this is what ruined it for the Russian girl.
Oh, yeah.
She listened. It backfired.
What,
yeah.
really?
Stop bragging about it.
Wait a minute.
I know.
He's got to brag about something.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I didn't know we ruined
5 years ago.
Flex your abs.
We didn't ruin the.
That's what got him in the first place. Is that
Just
Instagram ads?
keep your mouth shut and keep flexing.
Wait, how? Fuck off. Well said.
Yeah. Samantha's right.
You know, you just listen to her. Sometimes it takes a woman's touch, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't know we ruined the Russian.
Oh, we didn't. I covered up. I made it better. I was like, oh no, it's just I'm just.
They're talking about you eating my butt.
She's like, just from now on, I'd like to keep that stuff private. I'm like, okay.
I'd never be more embarrassed.
I don't want to know what you do. Just look pretty.
So you mentioned to the 23-year-old that you're going on a date with about the podcast.
Yeah,
and
she's like, where is it? Where can I listen? So I told her, and she's like,
how did you even know, by the way? Because you don't know anything about the show.
Actually, I didn't, but she searched and found it. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Wow. He's like, I think it's on the black square.
Go to that YouTube, maybe press it in the. I sent her to my old podcast first. No,
my God, and nobody listens to that.
Yeah, man. I was on it. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was asked to be on it. I just kept putting it off. Good thing it fell apart.
So anyway, she's like, well, which one should I listen to? There's so many. I'm like, I don't know which one, the names of them anymore. From the bottom.
What, she listened to Shark Week?
No, she listened to someone that had butt in the
In the title?
Yeah, it said butt something. And,
was it Seth eats butts?
But no, that's
a hashtag we use for a contest we're doing.
Seth's a racist butt eater.
And that's what,
that was 2 shows.
Seth, the racist butt eater, lived by the sea.
He frolicked with the 20-year-old.
Yeah. So anyway, she listened to
in a restaurant called Applebee's.
And immediately after she's like, okay, I fast forward to where you're at. I'm listening. And then for like 3 hours, I didn't hear anything back. And I go, did you?
He was deep diving.
Did you not like what you heard or something? She's like,
no, never do that. You're planting a seed, motherfucker.
Yeah. And they're also sensitive. They're 23-year-old millennials.
You can't say that.
Yeah, they hear all of your shit. They hear our shit. They're like, what are these racist old men?
Yeah, it might have been the shard. I didn't even think about it. It might have been the sharding stuff. That's the gross. That's gross. Everything else would be okay.
Do you think it's gross? You're talking about shit all over.
You put a fucking picture of you shitting your shoes online.
But I didn't know that if that was it. I forgot about that. I forget every time I'm on here 2 days later. I don't know what the fuck I said. So it doesn't.
Somebody in the Twitch chat room is twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. Juan is guessing that she heard you talking about shitting in a Gatorade bottle. You know what, I think Juan may have won. I think that's the one. That's the one that rattled Samantha.
What about when you work construction and every morning you'd shit the entire porta potty out?
That was the time of my life. If I could go back to doing that on a daily basis again, I want to get a construction job. This
the time of my life, and it's shitting in a porta potty.
That'd be a good that's my intro.
That's the time of your life is working construction and making.
I just picture you holding up a porta potty and spinning in circles,
making old white real men piss off.
For some reason, it gets me off seeing other people so mad. I'm such an asshole. I'm sorry.
By the way, all this is not helping your future 20.
No, whatever. Yeah. You know what? They can suck it.
Well, they won't suck it.
No, yeah. Well, they try.
It hasn't stopped.
You're gonna have to migrate up to like 35.
No, you can't do that. Too many wrinkles.
I haven't broke the 30 barrier yet. I'm
not even into the 30s.
So
not
did
even
she
30 on the nut?
Not once.
Wow.
Did she not even?
Life.
They know how to fuck better.
Beautiful 30-year-olds.
They know how to fuck.
30-year-olds is young for me. Oh my god.
Me too.
Damn.
I think 30. You know, I look at my wife and want a 30-year-old. She's 35.
So did she say anything?
She said, "Well, I really wasn't expecting you to be so open and forthcoming with your life and this thing." I'm like, "Oh,
I wanted you to be far more reserved and."
But she said it was
from
fine.
your Instagram photos. I expect you to be a goddamn librarian.
Yeah,
not talk to anybody.
So I was like, "Oh well," and then she talked about she did bring up the butt stuff. She's like, "Oh," and then she's talking about butt stuff,
eating ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I just owned it. I was like, what can I say? I think it's sexy as fuck going and doing something. No, I did that, and she actually kind of agreed with that a little bit.
I do like my butt eaten, but I just don't like to discuss it.
But then we were supposed to go on a date that night, and then maybe 2-3 hours later, she's like, "So, bad news. My job wants me to do some extra things in the morning, and I have to prepare for it. And so maybe it's a good idea if we put this off.
Maybe she just has diarrhea.
Oh yeah, she.
I don't know if it was just a line.
Yeah, she knows you're into butt stuff, and maybe down there is not so.
You know how much I'd have to prepare.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's turn around on her.
Yeah, maybe it's a little sour down there. Maybe she's sick.
You know how much
I'd get a case of the sour
oils.
The oils. Got a case of the oils.
If I knew before I left the house, someone was going to eat my butthole, I'd have done a lot of preparation.
Yeah, I do that. No, I do that now with my cycling shorts because everybody like fucked with me on here for wearing underwear under my cycle shorts. They're like, "No, you're supposed to free ball. You can't do that." And I was like, "Well, the extra barrier protects my cycle shorts from my butt because everybody should be fucking protected from my butt because my butt's disgusting." So instead, now I've been riding, commando. But before I put my cycle shorts on, I have to go in the bathroom. I have to take one preparation H-wipe and wipe it real good, and then I let that dry a little bit, and then I do one more. I do 2 wipes on it.
Mm-hmm. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, I got a lot of prep.
Now, so is it
like
is
cutting
done?
vegetables in Olive Garden?
She's a sweet. I don't think so, but we'll see. I haven't heard from her since.
She's listening to it now. She knows it.
Right. Well,
Can we call her right now?
No.
He's on. He's talking about butts again.
I haven't reached that
this time it's you.
Yeah.
I haven't reached that point of.
He's on the show now. He's talking about your butt. Go.
No. I haven't reached that point of not giving a fuck in my life to just fuck it.
So where
this show will ruin your life.
Oh yeah. That's what
I think that's copywritten by Swervy Jones, isn't it?
Could be.
From what I'm getting paid, it's worth it.
You know what's funny?
Okay.
It's up. That was an obvious
I
joke.
always see Tom pay you like days later.
Because I have to remind them.
Yeah, I forget every day.
It's days later.
And I'm surprised he even remembers. Me?
Yeah, it's money. I remember money.
It's such a small mess.
Well, whatever.
That's driving a goddamn Hellcat.
That's my going out. That's my date money. That's your money. That's my date money.
Well, obviously you're saving up now.
That's for the drinks.
So, where do you meet these girls? Do they come to you through your Instagram?
This one was a friend of a friend.
Okay,
not Instagram. No.
So
some of them are Instagram. It's Hinge now.
What's Hinge?
New dating app.
What?
One of the girls that I dated from Bumble told me about Hinge, and I got her.
So what's the difference between Hinge and Bumble?
Okay, so Hinge, you
Bumble, I Hinge.
Hinge, you like the photos of the people that you see, so you don't like swipe on the person yes or no. You actually either like one of their pictures and you comment on one of their pictures, or something they said in their profile. Like if they said, "Oh, I enjoy long walks on the beach, this and that," you comment on it and say, "Oh, I also enjoy that, blah blah blah," and you send it to them. So that's how you show your interest. You actually like comment on their pictures or
Well, that's called
part of the profile.
Instagram.
Kind of like, I guess so.
But I guess it's a place where people are looking to date, rather than
Just
when you're on
like
Instagram,
they're
you're
looking to
creeping
fuck.
out.
Yeah, they're looking to fuck, yeah.
Everybody's looking to fuck, I guess.
Yeah.
So then once they comment, and then you go back and forth, and then you exchange numbers, blah, blah,
Yeah. Well, then usually it's hey, what's your Insta? What's your Insta? Then I got to make sure they look like they do on their pictures from their Insta.
Seth, have you...
A lot of times they hide their lower half. And you got to get the full picture to see what...
Do you request that?
Yeah, damn right. Icebergs, man.
So how do you...
Icebergs?
I've never heard that.
You never heard of iceberg?
No.
It's so nice and tiny and beautiful up top, then it just goes...
Yeah, it's a lot under the water.
It's fucking giant.
It sank the Titanic.
Yeah,
Giant triangle.
wow.
So...
Wowie wooey. I don't even know.
I like that.
I enjoy it
I
too,
like
but
Icebergs.
I never
body
thought
type.
about it.
Anyway, so have you noticed that like younger girls in their 20s have a harder time like communicating in person? Like, do you notice that your text and your like social media communication is more lively or more interesting than talking in person? Because I've heard, and I don't know if this is bullshit or not, but people have told me that what texting and social media has done
What's degrading
to
your
younger
actual face-to-face like
communication
conversations.
skills.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've talked to maybe one person on the phone, like hearing their voice before I went on a date. Most of them have just always been text back and forth.
Really?
Weird. Yeah.
Never talked once.
So you
That's a
meet
little
them
weird.
for the first. You talk to them.
Talk to them for the first time.
You
on the
hear
date.
their voice for the first time,
and probably after like 4 or 5 days of texting back.
So you
and forth.
text, you show up at the Applebee's, and she's
And
like,
then
hey,
then you I don't know what's
and
after.
you're like,
How many times have you been catfished?
Maybe just like once or twice. Like and then that wasn't for voice. It was just like look wise. Like they had like a lot of filters on that. I didn't. Usually I can catch that pretty good. Like that's a filter. That's a filter.
when they're a cartoon face throwing up a rainbow, that's a tell.
I don't know. And then I get them asking why don't you want to talk to me? And then I don't want to say like I feel bad saying oh well you look like fucking Hatchet Face from.
Oh my god!
God damn, man.
I thought the whole move was just to like pretend like you never saw them. They saw
that's
you.
done. Ghosting happens. Quite
Well, no, if you show up, they know what he looks like.
Yeah,
and then what are you going to be like? You're just looking
right
around. She's like, hello. And you're like, I'm blind.
I didn't tell you from the
I'm suddenly blind. Hello? Is there someone there? Like, what do you, how do do you get out of that?
No, but we get it. There's a lot on tech. Like, it's
You
like
ever had to power through a date? You ever had to power through it because you just like
in a while because I'm pretty picky when it even to do that. Yeah.
So how do you tell them that you're not interested? Like someone told me this is awkward as shit. Dating itself is awkward as hell to me.
I ghost a lot, and I hate doing that. But I don't want to say. What do I say?
Well, how do you ghost them?
Just literally ignore everything they send.
That's what Tom does right now. He does that to me. I'll text him, like, I think the studio security system alarm's going off.
Someone went on someone told me a friend of mine, they went on a date and then they like met a guy. It was a woman went on a date with a guy, and then like halfway through the dinner, the guy's like, I could tell this is not going to work out. Let's split the tab. And I was like, God damn, that's awkward.
I had a girl do that to me. I went on a date and had a girl like literally say, this just isn't. I don't think this is going to work. But like we can still be friends and we can still have a nice dinner. And I'm like, nope.
Cut to the chase, save some time.
Yeah, you're right. I like to avoid it.
I was like, I'm not going to waste time eating a dinner.
A longer, more awkward time at a dinner.
No, but that's what Tom would do.
I love you. We'll get married. I'll pay for the bill.
That's what he does with the telemarketers. They get him and they're like, let me tell you about this product. He's like, because you can't.
I know, I just can't cut to the chase.
I don't do it in person. I'm super. Even if I know from meeting them for like the first 5 minutes, it's not going to go anywhere. I'll still have a good time and buy them dinner and have a good time. I like that's enjoy the company. Why not?
Yeah.
It's fun.
You know what? This dinner's on me, Iceberg. Just let's go easy on the ordering.
But you don't like.
You're not getting that potato.
Yeah, you're not getting 2 entrees and cut
You're
the
getting
carbs.
2 dry broccolis. On the
She
side.
doesn't want any croutons in her salad. Trust me.
I do that sometimes.
How long
do you order for your girls?
When I make sure it's okay first, and then I usually order for them. Well, they pick what they want. They pick what they want, and
get
then,
a salad, bitch.
and then I order for them. Yeah, I think that's gentlemanly to do that.
Okay, so they tell
That's
you
old
what they
school.
want, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
order
And
for
then
them.
I always,
I've never done that.
Really?
I've never
In
done
fact,
either.
I do this move. I don't. You know, the waiter traditionally is supposed to go to the women first, get their order, and then get the bid, and then my wife will over to video, and she'll be like, "I think," and I'll be like, "I want this." I jump right in there. I'm like, "I want this to drink, and this one I want to eat," and now she can go because I already have my mind made up because I win.
Usually the way to do that, to make sure that it's okay with the female if you order for them first, I've learned this, is when the waiter comes, he usually asks the girl the woman what they want first, and then I go, "Oh, you want this, correct?" And they look at me and they say, "Yeah, this is what I want." And then I look to the waiter and I say, "She'll have
The
this,
lady
this,
who
this."
cannot speak, and I will not allow her to.
That's not what I could give it. If she wants to speak, she can speak. I just think it was
Seth.
nice to do it.
You want this, don't you? That scared her. You're intimidating giant.
No, I don't do that. They tell me what they want and I order for them. I'm being sweet.
Tell me what you want so I may speak for you.
I heard nowadays.
Also, pull the seat out for them, open the doors every single time.
I open the door. I don't pull the seat out.
I do.
I think that's a little weird. I usually run, and then if my wife sits down, I'm like, I want to sit there. Spoiled, fucking rotten.
So, how long? Like I heard nowadays
It
that
goes like that old school stuff.
the younger, generation, the 20-year-olds, they have sex a lot faster. Like it's a lot more open. It's like how many days? Is there even like
that didn't sound old and creepy.
I have no
I've
idea.
heard these days that the gals like to have sex a lot earlier, see?
So how many? Because it used to be.
Where's his pedophile glasses?
I think I took him home. I wore him while I was pumping my wife last night.
By the
No,
way-
you didn't.
I did.
That would creep me out.
Well, she can't see. It's doggy style. She couldn't even see.
Oh, okay.
2 to 3 dates max.
Okay,
Max.
All right. Well, that's
Usually
longer than I thought.
Well, yeah. There's a bunch that were first nights.
First night butt eating. Oh wow!
Oh, first night butt. That's a great yacht rock.
Oh, not Bud, but I don't do that until
That's a second date.
second date. No, maybe the third time I'll start with a finger and just make sure.
Start with a finger. Do you go in or you just press?
No, press and you go
just
around.
press,
You
yeah.
start to see if it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you?
And then usually have a text conversation about it the next day.
Oh my God.
Hey,
It was weird when you were swirling my butt out. I've never been swirled before.
What is it just like nowadays with dating? Do you mix it up like first, second, third date? What do you think? Is it all dinner? Like you do other things?
What do you mean? Like, what do we do in the dates?
No, but is it always just
golfing
dinner?
or-
Do you go do anything else?
No, usually always is like dinner the first night, and then second night usually I cook dinner and Netflix.
Oh,
and
that's
chill.
right. He tries to get him over to his lair.
Yeah, get him over to the compound.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Show him the digs and this is my pool. This is my.
What is your
deck,
decor
this is-
like?
It's nice. His pool is badass.
It's a lot of Chinese type.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It kind of looks like
Dude, pool.
it kinda looks like
That's the only thing that's weird in the back, because I have a great wave of Kanagawa in the back.
That's a beautiful painting.
That's the only
Legendary
thing.
painting.
I have it. Yeah.
I was wondering if you have like never-ending story props or.
Well, no, it kind of looks like a flea market Army Navy store in there. A lot of swords.
It's modern farmhouse.
Did you see that article?
Honestly, everyone that's coming to my house is like, "Did you decorate this yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I learned a lot from doing real estate and staging houses."
That
So it's actually really nice.
wooden cat coat rack over there is. I bought that.
If you came over to my house, you'd be impressed. Sam, just because you're a woman, you'd be like,
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
Walk into my closet that you could actually have a room in, and you'll fall in love.
Sounds like you
All
decorated a trap.
Sounds like let's see. I'll put
Walk into my closet and the cage falls down.
put a little bit of cheese right here.
Oh, I like this modern farm.
You know, back to the farmhouse.
Oh, look, there's some bush wine sitting on the floor. Right over there.
you want your butthole swirled because you're the farmhouse, motherfucker.
Welcome to the farm.
I do have a basement. I really do have a basement.
Stop it. Stop saying that.
Why do you have a basement in Florida?
I don't ask the guys in 1920. who
Isn't
built
that
this.
where your dad, you had a leak and you had your poor dad down there bailing water out for 9 years?
We were all bailing water out down there.
Yeah.
We were jackhammering the floor.
Oh, I bet you were.
Putting a sub pump in, pumping the water out.
Is everything okay now?
Fuck it. I haven't checked it the past week since we've had these rains every single day, so it might be.
Well, you haven't even looked down there in your basement?
Yeah. Well, his dad's still down there. Fuck, it's just going to be a skeleton holding a pump.
So hungry.
So,
Please help me. My son's up there swirling buttholes, and I'm down here dying.
so
I feel bad. My dad actually fell last weekend and hit his head. And
oh my God.
I had him moving. No, I didn't. I didn't have him moving. He was moving his girlfriend's stuff up north and fell. He's okay now.
Is he all
was in
right?
the hospital for a day. Yeah, but he's okay.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's not good.
So, well, speaking of hurting yourself, and Daniel wanted to talk about walk-in clinics, and I know Seth has
Hell
probably
on
been in
earth.
a lot of walk-in clinics.
Yeah,
so
Hell on earth.
So Daniel was sick, and on like a Monday, was it?
Yeah,
so
it's this Monday.
I got sick over the weekend, and then Monday it was just really bad. I'm on the mend today, but
what
it's
kind
like,
of sick?
just a cold. Yeah, it was just a cold. But they put me on antibiotics, and then they, but that was early on, so I should be good now.
So the walk-in clinic is an interesting place. I've been there before, and
Every nationality.
the clients that go into the walk-in clinic, it could be
It's like a circus.
When I was there, I can describe it. We had new mom. We had Spanish lady doesn't understand English and just had been sitting there for. I sat there for like a couple hours because it was bad, but I needed it. I just wanted to go to the doctor, and I'd already put an hour in, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to continue sitting." Spanish lady didn't understand English. Had been dismissed from the doctor, didn't understand, and just took her paperwork and went and sat over there because she thought that the doctor was going to talk to her again, and just sat there for hours until the lady was like, ma'am, we dismissed you like 2 hours ago. Oh, yes. And then she walks, and then she walks out. Angry black guy, rich white guy that had fallen and busted his hip, and talking on his phone loudly and rudely the entire time. Crackhead that kept going in and out of the doors smoking cigarettes. Every time he'd go outside to smoke a cigarette, they'd call his name. He'd come back in and say, "Did you call my name?" They'd like, "Yeah," and they're like, "We put you back in rotation. You shouldn't be smoking." He'd go back out to smoke. They call his name again. And then he'd come back in fucking mad as fuck because they're not calling him. I'm trying to think who else was there. Real man, punk rock Spanish guy. Okay, like construction worker Spanish guy, but covered in tattoos that were like different, like punk rock bands and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. And then me.
Yeah. And you go to
What would somebody say about you if they were saying this from the outside?
I don't know. Small, kept to himself, was playing some game on his phone.
Because you go to a walk-in clinic
Quiet,
for
very quiet.
a couple
People
different
watching.
reasons. Like it's like an emergency that you don't want to go to the hospital for, and your regular general doctor or physician.
Well, I called my
It's
doctor,
booked.
and he was booked up.
Booked.
Yeah,
That's what I did. I
happened.
call them. They're booked all the time.
I called my doctor to see if they could like squeeze me in. They said no, so I was like, "Fuck it, I got to go to a walk-in clinic."
or you have no insurance. There's usually a variety of reasons, but it's never good.
When I
and
used to
you're
go to the
all
walk-in
together.
clinic, when I worked for iHeart or Clear Channel at the time, I never worked for iHeart. But when I used to go, it was like $100. But now when I went, because my wife's insurance is so much better than what you and I used to have, I went there. They're like, "That'll be $10." I'm like, "All right, fuck." I was like, "That'll work."
Yeah.
That'll work. So I'll sit for a couple hours if you can get me in for $10. But man, I don't know. How does that work? Why shouldn't it be standardized for everybody, same price?
Obama. I don't know what I was screaming.
I mean, I just don't understand how that. That's another show.
yeah. Do you want to do some voicemails? Do you want to take a break?
Yeah,
we got some.
we can do voicemails.
We got a couple of things we don't talk about.
Do you want to do lost voicemails or do you want to do mail on mail? I mean, it's easy, man. We got a lot of stuff to get to today.
Let's play some voicemails. Then we'll take a break. I know we got Seth. You got some news prepared, Seth?
Yep.
All right.
He does indeed.
Sometimes when people leave voicemails, they don't always go to Dan via the Mediocre app. Sometimes they get stuck in limbo, only to be rescued and converted later. They won't be timely. They won't make sense. They might be years old, and the person who left them could quite possibly be dead. This is Lost Voicemails from Beyond.
Is it brought to you by anybody, buddy, or are we just cranking into it?
We'll do KDK Accountancy Corporation. Bernie is our accountant. He's also our financial advisor. So if you need either of those, go talk to Bernie. He knows us, so just tell him, hey, I'm a Tom and Dan listener on BDM, and I need some good, trustworthy accounting if you have a small business.
And he's got big hands.
Yeah.
Huge O's.
Yeah. So it's OrlandoCPA.net.
All right. You know what that means, Seth, when you got big hands.
Hey,
Big
guys,
feet.
this is a message for a gentleman's guide to manliness.
Well, we'll skip that one then. Sorry, these, honestly, when I say I don't know what these are,
random,
I definitely don't know what these
God,
are.
one of my voicemails aren't on there.
Never know.
Happy Sunday, T&D Media Crew. Man, I was listening to the Friday Free Show, and the Dan Cummings segment was great. I think I'm going to be a new fan of him. I'm going to start checking out that podcast. Anyhow, though, I was sitting here listening to Friday's show, and the guy made a comment about assuming something with a guy pumping gas, and then was, never going to do that again because the guy didn't need help or whatever. I one time had a situation where I was going to a bank frequently, cashing my check every week, Citizens Bank of Oviedo, and this girl had worked there. I was familiar with her, hadn't seen her in a while. Going to the bank one day and noticed she had a belly on her, and I proceeded to ask her when her due date was.
Motherfucker.
And assuming she was pregnant, and damn it, that was the wrong thing to do.
No shit.
Turns out she was not pregnant and horribly embarrassed, as was I. I couldn't look her in the eye after that and never went back into that bank.
Hey, that's the Tom.
Again, due to the sheer embarrassment and awkwardness of asking that girl when she was pregnant and she had no baby in her belly.
I thought everyone knew not to do that.
Not Concrete Mike.
No, this guy was
a real man.
doing a cash
I don't know if
check.
that's him or not, but
It sounds a little bit like him.
So here's what's weird to me. If I was female and I had a belly, which I do now, so I'd assume if I was female I would have one too. If someone was like, "Oh, when'd you do?" I'd be like, 7 months, or like, "Well,
my God!"
I was just, I wouldn't have the
because you don't
wouldn't
like the
deny it.
awkwardness.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I'd be like, "Fuck you, motherfucker." I'd be like, I go in on him.
Yeah.
You know,
no, but that's just, like it intensifies it. What's wrong with just saying, "Oh,
no, but I shouldn't.
It's her fault for making us mistake that pregnant in the first place. I mean, don't wear a shirt that's so. I'm joking.
Wait
no, come on, you're softening up, Seth.
You are. You're getting soft. No, but the guy obviously.
Just say you're pregnant.
I'm with Samantha. Everybody knows that you don't say that. You know,
not everybody.
We would never say
Apparently
that.
not everybody.
You would never say that to a guy, right? Like you would never what's the equivalent for a man? Is there an equivalent for a
Yeah,
man?
you got some saggy bitch tits on you.
What? I'm going to walk up to a guy and go like, "Hey, you got some saggy bitch tits."
Well,
there is
no
no
equivalent.
There's no equivalent. Oh, hair? You think hair, EJ?
Like if they had cancer or not. Did you shave your head?
Nobody goes up to bald guys and go like, "How's your cancer going?" Nobody does that. That's a fucking lie. That
No
does
one's done
not
that to me.
happen.
I would say I have cancer, though. If somebody said that to me, I'd be embarrassed, but I have cancer.
Well, you're very fit for cancer. Cancer's not getting the best of you, sir.
But if someone does assume and congratulate you for congratulations, if I was a woman, I would just be like, oh, thank you, and move on. I wouldn't be like, I'm not
because
pregnant.
you hate awkward.
But why don't most people do? What's in it for them to be like, I'm not pregnant?
Well, you're setting that person straight.
What's in it for them telling you the truth? I'm not pregnant. I'm going to lie and say I'm pregnant? That's retarded. I don't even understand what that means.
Here's the thing, because it's a strange...
Then every time, because he's a customer, right? So every month, every week when he comes in to cash his check, you're going to continue to be like, oh, well, my baby's a peanut today.
That's what I was doing.
You're getting bigger.
Maybe that's the motivation she needed to be healthier in life, and maybe she lives 20 years more because she loses weight and is healthier for her family.
And no, you take it to the point where you keep getting getting fatter.
You're like, I have to keep this up.
I just found out I had twins. I'm having twins.
Then you have to do some dramatic surgery to take out all the fat.
And steal a baby. That's going to be hard.
Then you have to stage photos.
There's a baby sitting next to her in the
Yeah, then you got to get married to your boyfriend that you don't even really like that much.
Yeah.
Your whole life has to spiral out of control because you want to avoid one guy's fucked up comment.
Every time Concrete Mike, you showing pictures of your fake baby. It's all this facade.
Let's go to the Twitch chat room. Soul Rack says Tom's mentality on this is dumb as fuck. Back to you, Tom.
Well, hold on. Now I didn't know it was an employee at the. I thought it was a random customer at the bank because
he said at the end that he has never gone back to that bank.
Yeah, but it could. I would when a thing's bad. Like when I transfer
the Twitch chat room says that your fear of awkwardness knows no bounds.
I'm just saying. Okay,
it is. Is that your greatest thing? Like mine is anxiety or like fear of flying and something. You know, like my anxiety is like it's like part of the character. You know, like and I do exaggerate it for the sake of the show because it's funny. But I do have a real problem with that. Is your fear with awkwardness your greatest weakness?
Yeah,
would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to avoid it. And
he's not kidding when he says that, guys. Sam, he's not kidding, is he?
I know, but you are going to make it more awkward by lying.
Not necessarily. What if it's a stranger? Okay, follow me with this.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I'm saying in this specific scenario.
In this
let's
scenario,
just hear him out. Let's see. Try to convince us.
So, in a scenario where you're a woman and you got a little belly for whatever reason, and you're walking around, there's a stranger and that you've never seen before, and most likely, statistically, you've done the math, you probably won't see him again. It wasn't correct. It wasn't a person you frequent, someone that you go to the store. You know,
it's even less than an acquaintance.
Yeah, and then you say you're in line at the 7-Eleven, and the person behind you is like, "Oh, congratulations!" Right? In that scenario,
and you look around, you're like, "What? I win the lottery?"
It makes more sense to me to just tell the person, "Oh, thank you," or if they ask you when you're due, you just make up a date rather than cause the awkward situation, because at that point the thing is done. As soon as you say I'm not pregnant, now you've created this thing where the person's like, "Oh, sorry," then it's like, and you're like,
well, maybe it'll teach them a lesson and not do that shit again.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I also think that to go along with it. Now, see, this is I won't take it as far as the going in on the person and making it more awkward, because that's the part you hate.
You could just be like, "Oh no, I'm not pregnant."
No, but I'll take
that. To be a dick about
that person's intention was not to shame you or whatever. That person's intention was to honestly say congratulations.
I'm pretty simple. To me, it cost me as the woman with the belly more brain power to have to randomly improv a date, and then and consider baby names. No. You know what I mean? Like that to me.
That's chat with you about your kid.
And that to me is more voluntary than the involuntary reaction for me of being "fuck you, I am not pregnant."
But
what I'm saying?
Why do you come at them with such aggression if they made an honest mistake?
Not all of them do.
You're right.
No, you don't have to.
But it is the thing that Dan said, because you would never do that to a man.
You wouldn't
be like, "What, you got a tumor?" Like, you wouldn't comment on anything like that.
Because guys don't have anything that would constitute us getting fat right away.
Well, just because someone is bigger does not mean that they're carrying a baby around.
It'd be like if Samantha walked around and she was walking around in here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in here, and one of us walked in the door and she looked at the guy and then go, "Did you have your penis removed?" Because I don't see anything there. I
don't see a bulge.
It's real bag. Your shorts are real baggy.
But that's.
I'm trying. There's no equivalent.
Yeah, there is no equivalent.
Because essentially, what you're saying by that is you're fat.
You're true, but that's what you're taking it as.
But
and the person would just wanted to congratulate you on the baby.
He's coming from a good point. He's coming from a good side, saying, "Oh, I want to congratulate."
But that's why you never comment, because you don't know. So
I agree.
You'd never say anything.
Let's go back to the Twitch chat room just real quick. Twitch.tv/TomAday Live if you want to watch any of these shows live. Frickin' Wynn says, and my wife agreed, and you need to pipe down in there. Frickin' Wynn said, "Why do I, as a woman, need to lie to make the asker comfortable?"
That's true. I agree. You don't, and you can do whatever you want. I'm saying what I would do just to avoid the awkward situation. And it seems better in my mind to do that than to start this other thing where the person feels like a dickhead because you are a dickhead for even asking. Now the problem is, though, it's like that person is villainized for asking when his intention was to just say something polite. He probably just doesn't know anything.
And maybe the woman needs to hear it. I'm sorry. Maybe you really need to hear weird. Like other people are thinking it too. Maybe you need to. I don't know.
You can definitely look. I've seen a lot of fat women, and I've seen a lot of pregnant women, and I'm really good at telling the difference.
Because it's a distinct belly shape for pregnancy. I get
not
that.
Always. There's people with medical conditions that they're not pregnant, but they may look like they are.
Starving Africans.
You know, I did have a relative who was an alcoholic who had a big distended belly.
That's what I'm saying. If you're
like the traditional smoking swamp lady drinks a lot of beer bellies. She had one of those.
So if you.
Dead.
If you are a bigger girl and you have a belly on you, I think you probably know that eventually this is going to happen because apparently people haven't got the memo that never asked this question. So, and I expect it's probably happened to you before. Is the right response to get angry? Or is the right response to just blow it off because it's like, fuck it?
Don't say right response. It's not the right response. Yeah. I'm not saying I'll go with you. You know how you said this is what I do. I'm just saying what I would do. I know I would, if I were in that scenario and I were a woman, I know I would snap. I not snap, like start tearing the bank apart. I would snap back
be
out.
angry.
Yeah.
But the thing is, why be angry? Because they weren't. It's kind of like
it's insulting to me to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And I want to hurt you now.
But what's weird is it's like that the conversation we had about the Happy Memorial Day and everybody getting pissed. They're like, how dare you say Happy Memorial Day?
It's the intent.
So the person saying, congratulations when you do, I feel like that person's not coming from any sort of
evil place.
Yeah, evil, angry, or coming at you. Now, is it stupid to ask that to someone that you don't know for sure is pregnant? Yes. But are they asking to try to shame you or doing they were legitimately, I feel like most people were legitimately like saying, they're saying it because that's the cultural thing to say to another human. So I don't think getting angry.
Let's change that culture to say it until it's confirmed.
But I don't know anyone that's ever done that. Like everyone knows not to say that.
Most of the time it's kids, right? Most of the time it's kids.
I don't think so.
Like, you got a big fat belly.
I think people do it all
my
the time.
Tommy. Oh, shit. Okay.
Should we take a break or like?
I'll tell the story real quick.
Because Maisie yelled, "There's brown people swimming in the pool the other day."
My pop-ups yelled that before.
No, actually, she said, "Why are people brown?" Really loud. And I had that discussion in the pool. I'm just trying to float with a White Claw. Come on, man.
This morning on the way to school, Tommy asked, he's like, "Is God in the sky?" And then I'm driving. And then my wife's like, we don't know. And then he starts asking, when my wife's like, we don't know if God's a man or a woman.
Why are you making it worse? What the fuck, you guys?
Just tell him it's in the sky.
Wait, is your wife like us? I forgot.
What?
Is your wife like us?
She's atheist.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's just
so much more attractive now.
They're all atheists. Yeah, all of them.
But anyway, so
we just don't talk about it because my mom's like super religious and Andrea's parents.
Oh, I see.
Gotcha. I forgot my original even point.
No, your son.
Sorry. Your son.
Yeah. So we're at the mall. I'm getting a shirt for Dan Cummins, the Improv. Because I realized that's
what nerd dads do when they have a big event.
All my other button-down shirts are extra large and they're big, boxy.
Yeah.
And I wore my only other two.
You look like a '90s rapper up there. You need some Timberlands.
Like, why is this shirt so wide? So then we're at the mall. So Tommy and Max want ice cream. We're sitting there at the table in the food court area, and they're eating ice cream. And there's this lady sitting there. I'm on my phone looking up Bovada gambling, trying to handicap these preseason games. And then my Tommy, he points at. He's like, I hear old. And then I'm like, what? What happened? And then he's pointing literally 1 foot from this lady eating ice cream that's maybe in her 70s, 80s. And he's like, she's old.
Is he doing it to everybody? Is he like black, brown, old, and fat?
Four eyes.
Kabam. He's just firing off it.
And then so the lady looks up, and then I'm like, it's okay, baby. I'm doing the second cyber dance.
Old.
And like, God damn it, Tommy. Anyway.
Did you tell him we don't say things like that?
I should have told him God.
Was the old lady offended and said, I'm not old,
you
I'm
should
just
have said,
pregnant?
this is why people don't want to play with you.
Go walk in circles.
He speaks his mind. Anyway, all right. Let's take a quick break.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. What do I got today for music? The name of this band is Passport, and the name of this song is called Bingo Light. It's their newest single. And it's pretty funky, so enjoy this. We'll be back with more on Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you want to call us, and show at tomanddan.com for emails. It's the Bart Merrick team, and you're married to one half of the Bart Merrick team, and it's Bart Merrick. He's your wife. That's our okay. Cut it, print it. Bart's gonna love it. Bart, if there's one thing I know about Bart Merrick, it's that he likes a spicy commercial. And that, sir, that is the.
It made my eyes water.
Your eyes are watering. My God, have you been smoking weed?
No.
Your eyes are bright red.
Yeah.
And there's a joint in your mouth.
BartTheRealtor.com. If you need a competent realtor team like Bart Merrick and Crystal Van, you have to use them, buy or sell houses.
Just follow them on social media just to see all of the satisfied customers. If you don't, look,
hundreds and hundreds
we're
of
goofing
our
around,
listeners.
we're burping and making songs. And just follow them on socials, and you'll see Crystal and Bart giving the thumbs up and handing off the Bart Merrick blue bag of happiness. That's what I call it, instead of the blue bird of happiness.
Oh, we should talk about that.
It's the Bart Merrick blue bag of happiness that you get.
It gives you a gift at closing, which usually involves some Tom and Dan merch and some stuff that he picks out and buys himself.
You might even get some limited edition beer you can't find anymore. I mean, Bart, he likes to treat you guys like family, especially if you are BDM and a Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan listeners.
Yeah, 100%. And he'll do HDR photography himself.
No, you have been smoking weed. I knew it. I thought I smelled it.
And why that makes a difference is because your house will look so much better on the MLS website and pictures. That's how people shop. So if you're looking to sell your house, by the way, it is crazy in Orlando right now. I guarantee you, he'll come to your house and give you
an estimate,
a free estimate of what he thinks your house is valued at. Don't look at Zillow; that's ridiculous. He'll give it more accuracy, and then
he's putting the time in. It's everything about Bart and Crystal is time in. It's time in. It's like the photography. Well, it took some time to do that. Well, the estimate took some time to do that. You know, whereas a lot of other guys, when they list houses on the MLS, some of those listings don't even have photos. The listings aren't accurate. They're, they take the time to do it correctly.
Here's you don't even have to trust us. Reach out to any the BDM page, our social media, and like, hey, you guys have used Bart and Crystal. How's your experience? They'll tell you 100%. It's the Bart Merrick team, BartTheRealtor.com.
Scumbags, what's going on? It is Sam and Trav with your BDM clip of the week, Sam.
And Trav. And this week's BDM show is the live Time Suck podcast you guys did at the Improv.
Yeah, Tom and Dan joined Dan Cummins for his live Time Suck, and it was a very interesting topic about a cult. Let's check out a clip.
So I wonder, so how did Rock explain to his followers how he messed up at the end of the world? This is what he says. He says it was all about a calendar confusion situation. He says when he got the word, he interpreted the end based on the Eastern time zone. But he forgot that God operates on God time. This is what he tells his followers. He says the world is still going to end on February 17th, 1979 on God time. And his followers just basically go, okay.
Yeah. Everybody knows about GPT.
That's what I tell Samantha when I forget to schedule a guest in. I'm like, oh, God time.
Yeah, GPT, man. GPT.
God time. So everybody stays initially. Then a cult member named Jacques Boucher does leave the group in April 1979. He's had enough. He's tired of being beaten in the woods. He doesn't buy this God time bullshit. Rock tells the group, good riddance. I was going to get ready to kick him out anyway because Jock had been taken by the devil.
God!
Mm-hmm. So good little defensive strategy there. Another member, Maurice, the poor woman who never really liked Rock, the one who got beaten for pancakes, she tries to talk her man Jock into leaving. Like, let's get out of here. And then Rock finds out. He's not happy about it. He orders Jock to take an axe and cut off one of Maurice's toes as punishment. Yep, when Jock refuses, Rock tells him, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to cut her whole foot off. So this guy knows he's serious.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, look, fair's fair.
Fair's fair.
Fair's fair.
You know, I couldn't make it to the show on Sunday night, but after hearing the show, I really wish I had. Next time, I'm there.
Yeah, Dan always has really interesting topics. To hear the rest of this BDM show, you have to sign up to become a BDM.
At TomandDan.com.
That is Good Riddance. I don't know if you remember that band.
Yeah.
I haven't heard them in a minute, but they have new music out. Their new album, Thoughts and Prayers, is out right now. Brand new, 2019. And you heard the song, Our Great Divide. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Butler is here. News guy Seth Petrozelli is here. We have some listeners that won a White Claw contest.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Brittany Simone is here.
Yes.
As Tom likes
Simone,
to call her.
She won our hashtag Claw Me contest. We do this.
She has many names. She's been a long time valued listener. We love her very, very much. She's been on multiple cruises.
Yep. And by the way, we tried that the new tangerine flavor.
I just poured some on ice because we didn't have any in the fridge.
Ooh, did you get one? I want one.
I want to try.
And
It's good as fuck.
By the way, Steven, he's our new White Claw rep. He came in here and he told they're selling that limited in BJ's
Wholesale.
Wholesale's only in 24 packs, but it comes like tangerine's a new flavor. But they're testing in different markets. So in Orlando and all the BJ's wholesales, there's the 24 pack variety pack and the tangerines in there. He told me to get them while they're available because once they're sold out, it's going to be a while before they come back in.
Once they're gone, they're gone.
So let's do some news.
Give me 1 second, buddy.
I thought you were supposed to come up with your own. I gotta keep hearing the CT crap.
It's your theme song.
That's the theme.
I thought you were gonna make your own.
Well, I abandoned that once I got this one sent to me.
That's what I thought. I knew you were lazy.
Yeah, no, I worked on one. I just, once I got this one, I'm like, I'm out.
99 MRIs trying to prove he's gonna die. The CT is kicking in with every new hit at the gym. He laid out Kimbo with an attack, but the Russian won't call him back. And we all forgot about that fight. Just won't prove for long you're gonna die. From fighting in the UFC to reading news to you and me, you could say he wears a lot of hats, but we'll just focus on his eyes. So Hippo people, get on your hooves and put them together for you know who. As if you narcs don't have a clue, it's Seth Petrozelli with your Douchebro news.
This song probably didn't help the 20-year-old. It's like, what are they saying? So you getting in a social media fight with John Bustecker?
He actually might. We made up a little bit at the end.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he started trying to bully you, then you bullied him back because you have bullied
then
him
two
before.
bullies came together, Nerd Bully versus Muscle Bully.
Yeah.
And now we have
a karate bully. Karate combination.
Now you guys will meet in the traditional karate studio or dojo.
Yes, dojo.
And you can show him some. He says he does karate at a bow tie, which I'd love to see.
Yeah, Bustecker doesn't remind me of the most coordinated person. Not very much of an athlete.
That's the best thing about even the jungle.
He reminds me of one of those dolls my grandma used to stick in my Easter basket. That's just wire with rubber wrapped around it. It's like a rubber,
a stick bug.
like a stick buddy, and you could move him to make him do anything you want with it. And then eventually one of the wires would snap, and then your dad would throw it in the trash.
That's the great thing about martial. I think, and I see it all the time. Like even at the jungle, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and karate, like. Everybody that comes in there that's a little bit socially awkward, that has some like issues and stuff like that, it gives them like so much confidence and like I don't know, it makes them like a new, not an ARP, I guess you could just say. It makes them like very, very confident and like comfortable with themselves no matter what.
I saw your last karate video.
I enjoyed that.
Of you doing some sort of
dojo dance.
It was just like you were doing air punches and you're doing the
yeah, that's the technical terms. Air punching and
I feel like I'd be too embarrassed to do something like that.
People, it's the same thing as shadow boxing. I mean, when
but shadow boxing looks cool.
Well, these are actually just this is just a predetermined shadow box.
You don't like anything that is like a formality.
It's
right?
very, very formal.
Yeah.
Like,
well, also it's like you're doing this. You're
pushing air.
You're like
it's called dynamic tension.
You're like pushing an
It's so that way
imaginary heavy object forward. I'm just like.
It's so if you do actually hit me, I'm like already everything's tight and ready to get hit. So you're not gonna hurt me.
Well, you explaining it makes
pushing imaginary rock, lifting imaginary belly of lady who's not pregnant.
All right, let's do some news.
Cool.
Did I say who news brought to you by?
No,
it's brought to you by Karate of Orlando. That's it.
Oh, there goes your pay.
That's it. I didn't say you could do that. That was not an approved plug.
I didn't have anything prepared for that. Okay. Well, I talked about Mike Tyson a couple weeks ago. Last time I was here. One more time, more Mike Tyson news. I don't know why I like him so much. But,
he's an interesting dude that was huge in our childhood.
Now he's got that old Bill Cosby beard.
Oh yeah.
But I thought you guys
would
like this story because it kind of has something to do with you, potheads. So Mike Tyson says that they smoke $40,000 worth of marijuana every month at his ranch.
God damn.
$40,000. Not only has the former boxer become an advocate for marijuana while hosting a podcast called Hot Boxing, but he also explained the extent of his marijuana use in his latest episode. What do we smoke a month? Tyson asked his co-host. It's about $40,000 a month. Yes, $40,000 a month. So Tyson smokes 10 tons of weed at the ranch a month.
He's doing impressions now.
Was that Mark Marrow or Mike Tyson?
I don't know.
10 tons of weed isn't $40,000. You know what?
It can't be like just himself, right?
I'm assuming him and his cronies.
Well, it's also the people that stay at the ranch. Isn't it a retreat?
That weight can't be accurate.
An ounce of good
Who's
quality
doing the math?
marijuana
Mike
is what? 300?
I'm not a math guy.
350.
Yeah, so an ounce is 350. 16 ounces in a pound. Like you start doing the math, and then
$40,000.
2,000 pounds in a ton. It's going to be 10 tons. It'd be way more than $40,000.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway,
I didn't know this.
He smokes a shit ton of weed.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that he could have said 10 tons. I mean, maybe he was just being facetious.
Yeah, maybe he was exaggerating or something.
10 times.
He's definitely I've seen him in different.
Was that Jesse Jackson? Who are you? That was racist. Don't ever do that.
Mike Tyson has either it's a chemical imbalance. It's like a horrible upbringing. Like on Joe Rogan, I heard him talk about his upbringing and he didn't have family. At 12 years old, there was a boxing trainer that basically turned him into a fucking killing machine, and that's all he knew. So he's all fucked up. So imagine at this point, it's like a high every day, every waking moment. That's the only way I'm even. Because without that, I'm swinging and crazy.
I wonder if boxing made it worse too, like getting hit.
I'm gonna help.
I wonder if he would have been good at MMA if you could have given him some karate.
I bet you if you get some wrestling and some jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I mean, if he trained, why not? He's an athlete. He's a super athlete.
He's a super
of course,
athlete.
he'd be if he got taught it back in the day. Of course, I remember a story about him. He was a young kid, 13 or something like that, pretending to help an old lady cross the road, and then sucker punched her and took her purse and ran away with the purse. Like a dirt ball as a kid. I guess.
And then boxing.
He had no boundaries.
He was a dirt ball as an adult too. Beat his wife and.
But we love him now. I mean, we love him now. He's
pretty good.
So you think Mike Tyson Prime versus Seth Petrozelli Prime, and like an MMA fight? So all he knows is boxing. What do you think? Because if you watch, we said it before, but you look up videos of Mike Tyson in his prime, knocking people out.
It's ridiculous.
He's scary motherfucker. You're like, holy shit, this guy's punch could kill me.
He was killing people.
Yeah. How tight and fast he was. And
I think there are people that actually fought him that they were like, that's it, I'm done. I'm out of the game.
They retired.
I'm out. That's not good for me.
This guy's not even on the same level of human as I am.
If I ever did, I'd have to shoot the lowest single leg possible on him, because just even trying to clinch with him, he's got such badass uppercuts and dirty boxing where it's you can't clinch and I press him. Well, you could, but it'd be tough. I'd literally on my knees shoot a low single, like an ankle pick or something like that. And that's the only way that I could possibly foresee.
Either
that or I'll stand back and spin kick him in his fucking
You're right. He's not expecting kicks. That's the thing about fighting a boxer.
That's your legs.
So I could kick. But at the end of it, he does have a 40-acre ranch that he broke ground on to research the effects of marijuana. and of the drug.
Yep, get you high. Back to you, Mike.
I don't know that he's doing research. I think that's just for his supply.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, that's what you say though to make it like good with all society. But
That's
like,
what we say.
I'm growing all this
We're like,
for
it's
research.
medical. Yeah, get it done. Get a recommendation. Okay, yeah, you need it. I just want to get high.
It helps everybody.
Yeah. It's like really does good. Oh, stop my seizures. Yeah, yes.
But how much is
by seizures? I mean, it stopped me from being bored.
I have some trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
At what
I'm having a
point?
sleep seizure. I'm having a wake seizure. This is look at, I'm seizing out right now. I can't go to bed.
And I have nothing against like recreational like weed use and stuff like that. But at what point does it become like escaping from reality? Like that's the only thing.
Every point.
Yeah. That's what it was all for.
What do you mean?
I mean, some of it's like.
I mean, drinking, I guess, would be escaping from reality. But like,
Do you like
so
reality?
excessive.
Yeah, but
Not me.
it's the same shit with like antidepressants and like
fucking
any
bad.
sort of drug. Like
Only when I'm on a date.
Anything that changes or alters your mind or whatever, it's a chemical, whatever. And people use it for marijuana use, like
caffeine.
They on it all the
nicotine.
time. Like I know people that right when they wake up, they're high all the time.
So why
every
is
day.
that okay, but drinking all the time isn't okay, or smoking cigarettes?
I don't
all the
think
time
either
isn't
is okay.
No, people are way more okay with people smoking weed constantly. Oh, it's just weed. Who gives a shit? It's just
Yes,
it's weed.
yeah.
Now that's okay, but drinking it, like, it makes no sense to me.
Well, you get in more trouble drinking. Like, you see all the jokes and the memes of like you know someone gets drunk, they get in fights or start shit. If someone's high, they're
That's
just
true.
like
It's
chilling.
also poison. Yeah, but
having
you're
a
right.
good time.
No, it ruins your own.
You don't get aggressive. You don't get sloppy. You don't hurt yourself for others.
I
But
got
you're right.
aggressive.
But there's
Smoking weed?
I freaked the fuck out. I wanted to run. I was throwing people off me trying to get to the hospital.
This is the guy who also punches the back of fucking airplane seats when you freak
Yeah,
the fuck
you're
out
a
too.
different
Like,
animal.
you're a weirdo.
No, but I see what you're saying. Like, we're so in love with marijuana nowadays that no matter what its use, like it's fine to everybody.
I'm not saying
I
that.
think that
I'm
that
just
is blinding
saying it's better than being drunk all the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Health wise and everything, you're right, 100%.
Not
But
if you're smoking blunts. No, it's not.
if you're high all day, every day, that's not, what are you doing? Now, if you want to do that and you can live your life like that, who cares? You're not bothering anybody else. But it's probably if you want to, advance in your career or get shit done or, then.
I like how EJ is trying to comment in the chat room, and he just wrote, "I don't use either. I better than everyone." Yeah,
caveman.
You is better than everyone.
I've been getting. Here's the thing. I've been getting high every day for probably 2.5 years now. Like I haven't missed a day.
I didn't know that.
But it's at night.
I quit
when when I'm done with everything that I have to do and all my responsibilities are done. That's when I do it. I don't get high during the day.
I guess it's still a habit to me that I don't know.
I went a little.
It's the same as people drinking at
too far last night.
No, it's
I rode the 3 Zen therapy.
No, yeah.
And then I.
You still owe me a red pill.
Okay, and I freaked out.
You took 3 red?
No, 3 Zen Theragels, and then I freaked out while eating pussy.
But for some people, dude, I know
Wait, what?
people that
Don't talk about it.
instead of like antidepressants and things like that, they use marijuana to keep themselves even, and that's the thing too. And it's like, if it works for you, great. And it's like anything. How much is it hindering your life? How much is it affecting your life?
But it could be affecting other, and maybe it's not affecting you, but like people that you're around and stuff like that, they notice like you're like I noticed it like with people that you don't smile at, you're just not all that, like you ask them something and then they just kind of forget you're out of it. And it's fucking annoying like half the time. It's like fuck, listen to me, stop being stupid right now and like pay attention.
You left your fucking baby wipes open in the bathroom and you stunk it up when Godfrey was going in there.
Somebody else did not flush when I just went in there for the break.
I blamed you. We had comedian Godfrey, and by the way, great interview. You guys should all check it out. The video and the audio will be up very, very soon. But I blamed you, Butler, for stinking up the bathroom.
Yeah,
I
because he went in there to see his signature.
I have to apologize.
And I was like, God damn, we
when
got hit in the face.
I'm wrong. Yeah, Godfrey opened the door, and he was like, Godfrey, meet goddamn, because it was like, whoosh, and it was Mike Charette. It was comedian Mike Charette. He blew it up, and he didn't even turn the fan on, motherfucker. He's an animal. He just let it sit hot in the air. When I walked in there, it smelled like a goddamn Vietnam jungle. It was terrible.
Then we were like, did Butler come here and shit? And then
I'm like, I'm so sorry, Godly. I'm so sorry, Godly. I was like, our sales guy, he blew it all up, and then he fled because he's a a fucking coward.
All right, what's the next story?
I
Sorry,
apologize.
Apologies.
Half the chat's assholes, by the way.
Come on,
don't
hurt
get
your
your
feelings, little
feelings
baby.
hurt.
Just because everyone's so for it right now. I am too. I'm all for legalization, and I'm all for it. That's fine. It's just not for me.
No, like anything.
I just think like anything, a habit is a habit.
Abused,
It
yes,
can be abused.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Dude,
man.
and then if you're high every day, all day, unless you know, it becomes a problem. You're probably addicted to it. You can become addicted to THC.
You can become
or at least
addicted,
a feeling.
You can become addicted to anything.
Not chemically addicted,
You
but
can
you're
become addicted to fitness. I mean, there are people
I'm not gonna. I'll be the first to admit if I go a day without it, I want to punch you.
But
in
you
the
also
face.
probably have to keep that in check, though, too, right?
Now-
and not overtrain.
No.
Now, here's the thing.
No, I
There it
do.
is.
No, I do.
If
I do.
and
I try to.
the good thing is if you're addicted to it, it's not going to hurt you in the long run, except for the fact that you're high all the time. So then people are like, "This guy's high all the time."
It's still smoke going in your lungs. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. If
Well,
it's-
you can eat it. Yeah, I don't smoke.
Depending how you ingest it or take it, then yes.
I
but
haven't smoked weed
Weed
in
itself is still smoke in your lungs. You still get
years.
cancer. It's
Haven't
a
smoked
carcinogen in your
weed
lungs.
in years.
There's
No one
so many
smokes
other
weed
ways
anymore.
to
Bullshit.
There's lotions, there's patches,
Well,
there's
vaping is not a
Theragels.
carcinogen, so
Okay.
You could put the lotion
So if
on
I
your
so if
dog.
I vape those damn vape alcohol balloons, it's okay.
yeah,
What are those?
What is that?
yeah, you get
You
fucked
guys
up.
ever do
yeah.
that?
Yeah,
I've never done that.
It's on
What are you
Wall.
talking about?
It's on Wall Street. There's alcohol balloons. You could just suck on
Can we get those in here? I want to try an alcohol.
What-
balloon.
It's vaporized
99
alcohol.
balloons.
And then
I'll
you
find
suck
it for
it in
you.
and get
Yeah.
you drunk.
Can you get
Yeah,
us
it
some?
gets you
Yeah.
really drunk,
Today?
like fast.
I want that.
because you're going through your lungs.
Let's do a show. Let's do the last
I don't
segment of a
like
Friday
that.
Free show.
It's kind of like butt chugging.
We'll all butt chug. Let's just butt chug instead.
All right, next door.
Next one. Speaking of fucked up things, people are still drinking bleach and vomiting and pooping their guts out. The U.S.
All right.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration this week released an important health warning that everyone should heed. Drinking bleach is dangerous and potentially life-threatening. Duh. The warning should seem very unnecessary, but guzzling bleach is unfortunately a persistent problem. Unscrupulous sellers have sold miracle bleach elixirs for decades, claiming they can cure everything from cancer to HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, flu, hair loss, and more. Some have promoted it to parents as a way to cure autism in children.
Well, that one's true.
Of course, these health claims are false, and that it's toxic to drink and can cause severe diarrhea, vomiting, low blood pressure, liver failure.
These are just dumb people, right?
These are just. But listen to how many people. Wait, just wait. The FDA noted that some sellers will warn against these side effects, but say that it's just proof that it's working. The numbers, we can share the numbers. Since 2014, 16,500 cases of people getting affected from drinking.
That's a lot.
My
bleach.
God.
Isn't that ridiculous?
That's a lot. Is that just in the United States, or is that worldwide?
Damn it, I'm not that.
Probably
good of a
United
reporter.
States. I don't think we're going to be checking the numbers of how many Nigerians are guzzling bleach.
Dude, you
it just doesn't seem like something we
But
do.
only
right?
8 of those died, so it's not as bad as we thought.
Well, still,
God
16,000.
damn, that's a lot of fucking people, though, man.
So they're selling
50 life-threatening.
now.
You
Is
broke
it
up the room with that one, buddy.
is it people finding like on the internet like, oh, this will cure, and then they drink their own bleach, or they're buying a product that says
It's
like,
probably a combination of both, because there are sellers that sell like stuff that's not called bleach, but it has the same chemical ingredients as it's just bleach with like tasty bleach. I guess you could say.
Okay.
Tasty bleach.
Well, let's not make
Lavender
bleach
flavored.
tasty.
well, it's they.
Chat room is requesting no shirt news Fridays.
So wow,
yeah, they're getting horny. We got a horny lady in there. Lemon Sweetie, you're a horny lady, and I salute you. You win a prize.
So the I guess
Got to do something for the ladies, right?
Seth
It's not
can
fair.
say- then I can say
we do
whatever.
it we do it as guys. It's only fair.
now follow this line of logic. I can understand dodos thinking to themselves like, okay, I use bleach to kill bacteria, right? And then next thing you know, you got some sort of disease. And
Bubba's,
then in your mind, you're like, I'll drink the bleach. It'll kill
No,
whatever.
but Bubba's granny, Mary Louise Johnson, that we worked with when we did morning radio.
Yeah.
She's an older Cajun lady, a black lady, used to put a cup full of bleach in her bathtub, dilute it with water, and then sit in it to clean herself. Seriously. I think there are people. I think for years.
Does that help with butthole blackness?
No, I think it was just like to you know what I mean. Like there are people that believe, like my dad thought. But when I got my thumb stung by a wasp, my dad stuck it in turpentine because he thought that
It's all wives' tale
Yeah, it's all
there.
wives, and then it swelled up huge. Had to go to the emergency room.
My dad rubbed a daisy leaf on it or something like that. Some sort of
I bet he
flower.
did,
This will turn you gay.
yeah.
But yeah, It's ridiculous.
My fat gay son, I'm rubbing daisies on him.
Some cure.
I wonder why anybody doesn't consult anybody before they do this kind of shit. Is it because when they go on the internet, is they search for the thing they want to search, and then it tells you
what you want to hear? It probably verifies what you want to hear.
So it's like, sure, if you Googled "is drinking bleach okay?" Like it's not,
but they're not Googling.
No site's going to pop up.
You know, you can have a little bit. If you have dirty water, like in an emergency situation, it's okay to put a tiny bit of bleach in, like a big, like
you can consume a tiny amount of bleach.
It's like pool water.
A lot of
Why does it turn? Why does it turn like if I get it on me? Why does it turn me white?
It's because it's powerful enough to, I guess, stain. It's
it pulls the color out, right?
Yeah.
Is it pulling the color out of my skin?
Killing everything, man.
Yeah.
Sodium hypochlorite.
I'm gonna start soaking my hands in it so I have Mickey Mouse hands.
I'm gonna squirt on some people's butt cheeks and get some bleach the butthole.
Have you ever had your butthole bleached?
Nope. No, why would I have it bleached?
I thought you liked
you shit yourself.
You don't like girls that eat your ass either.
I have an amazing bidet that cleans my butt 3 times a day.
You don't let them eat your. What if they want to eat your ass?
I don't let that happen. That's not
really.
Yeah,
I thought that was all
because of his tail.
No, that's not right. I mean, I've had it there. I've had it done a couple of times.
I got you have the purple dragon tail.
So you don't like it? That's odd.
I mean, I do, and I don't.
Some guys are really into that. Yeah. You know, it starts with the bottom of the shaft, then it's the balls.
That I like.
Then the balls, and the next thing, and then when the girls suck the balls, sometimes they suck them, and there's like. And I'm like, don't do that. That hurts.
Sounds painful.
Fucking hurts.
No,
don't do that.
The taint is very nice, yes, but any further.
The taint, I know. The taint, like, is your seam. Sometimes I touch that down there, and I'm like, what if that shit splits open? Is everything going to dump out?
Oh, yeah.
Is everything going to dump out the bottom?
Yeah, like a big
bag.
Yeah, it's like a zipper. Yeah, I don't like touching it. When I touch it, it's rough. It's rigid. It's like, put a better seal on it. The fit and the finish on the human body is terrible. It's sand that shit down.
Yeah.
Smooth it out. Put some Bondo on it.
Bad weld, yeah.
Also, don't put
Jamie
hair.
Weld on it.
You put hair down there and it made it worse.
No, I like the hair.
Oh, you do?
I like the hair on me. You're the only one that, like, he shaves like a baby.
I do
He's
too.
Like, well, let's both show us. Compare.
Under everything, like I get under there and everything.
It'll be like, look, it's a Adonis. It's the statue of David. Look, it's the Geico pig.
How dare you? You got one last story?
I got 2 more.
Okay, go ahead.
Unless it's not bad. Guys, this is the one I gotta.
Oh, is this the one you're like these dumb kids with cancer? These are laughing.
No, it's not. That's not never that bad. Man dies after a taco eating contest in California baseball game.
He died.
God,
Seth. A taco eating contest.
Did he? Okay, what happened?
Hang on.
Was it Burger King taco?
A man died Tuesday night after participating in a taco eating contest at a minor league baseball game. It took place at Chauncey Park in Fresno, California. The man, his name was Dana Hutchins. He was 41. He collapsed after eating the tacos, and they didn't say.
Goddamn.
They didn't say how many tacos he ate. I was really wondering how many he actually got down before his body.
Does it really matter?
Yeah, that's important because I want to know because I do eating contests sometimes. So that's like it's kind of scary.
Well, he didn't choke, right? It was more of a.
Well, I'll tell you right now. It said he died shortly after being rushed to the hospital. We are not ruling on a cause of death yet. But we have an idea. The sheriff department said, that's the best part of the whole story. It was, quote, but we have an idea.
What was his idea? Was it a heart attack?
No, he's just in bad shape and ate too many fucking tacos. He died.
Well, you don't die from eating too many tacos.
Yeah,
if that's the case,
just like Seven would have been just like the movie Seven, where he was eating pasta till he died. Like,
I mean, you can
it comes up all the way and you choke.
That's a movie.
Follow me with this. You can be.
Dude, they have a hot dog eating contest. They eat 70 goddamn hot dogs.
Yeah, they're trained fat asses. So
like,
it's okay.
They're skinny.
Jesus Christ. Follow me with this.
Figure speech.
You're a heavier dude. You're not in good shape. Your heart's not good because you're just carrying a lot. I'm assuming here, okay? I don't know what this guy looks like. If you stress your body that much, right, you can have a heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, then
I would imagine
then
that's what happened.
You died from
Sodium,
the
all
heart
that shit,
attack.
yeah.
No, right, but the taco eating contest is what spurred
Is the
on
trigger.
the heart
I
attack.
don't know if you eat a tremendous amount of food that
meat
has anything
sweats.
to do with the heart attack.
Oh, I had the chicken sweats yesterday. My
Yeah,
God.
it lowers or raises your blood pressure because but your blood
Yeah.
is down there, and I think it might lower it. Maybe I don't know. It's one of the two.
I don't know. I'm not
So
doctor.
what is the cause of most like heart attacks for men, older men? like what is the catalyst that sparks it? Because obviously it's a buildup of plaque around your arteries and whatever, and then all of a sudden there's something like it gets so thin that there's some sort of catalyst that is like boom, and a heart attack.
Viagra.
But sometimes it's just people have heart attacks just sitting in the cars or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
genetics sometimes.
But can food, like you eat a tremendous amount of food, could that be the catalyst to a heart attack? I've never heard that.
The damage is already done. That's just like the
Yeah.
icing on the cake. You know what I mean?
Because usually, like, strenuous
It wasn't just
activity-
those tacos that killed him. It was his lifestyle prior to those tacos.
Maybe,
and
but
it was just, that would just happen.
But
And
was
they're
it
like,
the
fuck it, that's done.
adrenaline from the contest rather
Do
than
they
the
have a
taco?
picture
Probably.
of the guy in the story? Do they have a picture of him?
No, they didn't have a picture.
Yeah,
I should have
'cause
Googled a
How
picture.
old was he?
41.
That's pretty young for
That's
a heart attack.
very
Dude.
young.
I don't know,
Very
man.
young.
So I don't
Did
think
he
that's
choke?
yeah.
It says he
41.
choked,
That's like 6
yeah.
more years.
Oh, they're saying he choked.
Okay. Yeah, because those 41-year-olds don't have heart attacks. I mean, it happened, but
I mean, when you do those eating contests, I mean, I remember the last one I did. It was the very final one I did. It was at a Hooters. Dirty Jim was there, or Jim Colbert was there. And it was like a hot wing eating competition, and they had to have legally a paramedic on site to make sure that these guys didn't choke on these chicken wings.
yeah, there's too much liability.
Yeah.
That'd be so.
Stand by me.
Dude, we know a radio personality that got fired and sold the whole show and
We
the whole
for a
station
we. Yeah.
because they did a contest, We for a We, and the contestants had to drink as much water without peeing.
You can die.
And then she died from fucking water intoxication
Yeah.
or whatever. And then, I mean, shit like that from those contests, like, and then they sue crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Is it
surprised.
just because there was too many tacos in there? They couldn't get it all out? Because I mean,
It wasn't hard.
They
And
said
then-
they tried to clear his airway, but then he died less than 30 minutes later. You
Wow.
couldn't get the food out of him?
yeah,
It must have been hard tacos.
If there's a paramedic there,
No, easier
like,
to eat. The soft talker is the one that gooey,
goo up.
that flour.
I thought the sharpness would.
I
Just
think the
sideways.
corn goes down faster. Plus, they're better for you. Soft talk and flour talk is worse for you.
when you puke it up though, like you're choking.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
No, if you can't get any air, through and it's stuck in there.
That's why my for karate helps out. Because you just channel and then just exhale and it'll that's because of strength. So if you train karate, maybe,
buffing.
it might have been okay.
You've done some eating contests, right? What's the most you ever eaten? One.
The
How many
the
butts have
smoky
you eaten
bones
in
one.
one
I
night?
had like 6.5 pounds.
Oh my god!
And the guy, okay,
6.5 pounds of what?
This was like 8 burger and topping and pulled stuff on top,
Pulled
and cider
pork
and
and-
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. So the guy that beat me by literally one fucking swallow, I swear to God, there was like 80 people in this competition, and he beat me by one swallow. I had it in my mouth. He swallowed. He opened it first, and then I did it. It broke down to like 3 categories. Anyway, after he won, he was super full. I ordered dessert, and I ate the dessert right in front of him, just to fucking prove my point. Yeah. Fucking pussy.
Express your dominance.
I did.
That guy.
But that and at bets, I have the most burger challenges eaten ever. So I have my picture up there the most.
No, really, you've done it the most.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment.
But that was downtown. They're not there anymore, which kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
it does suck. They closed down, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, last story.
But wait, the funny thing about this is that was Tuesday. So this Saturday, the park is hosting the world's taco eating championship.
They should cancel that.
And they said officials are debating whether or not they are going to continue doing this.
No, they should cancel it out of respect. A motherfucker died. And you mean to tell
what
me-
they should do is name the contest after him and keep doing it.
Should be a nacho.
He'll be remembered forever. That's how I'd want to be. If I died doing something,
I think it would
I want to
slow
be
everybody
No,
down.
I don't
a
want
little
my
bit.
okay. So if my dad dies on a taco eating contest, and then you want the name of that, I'd be embarrassed. And
No.
every year when it came around,
You'd rather people forget his name?
Yeah.
No.
because taco eating contests are fucking
Not me.
embarrassing.
Not me.
Also, how the hell did they even once
some
that
balls,
happens?
right?
Then you stop. You're like, we can never do any of this.
Yeah.
By the way, we can't do any contest
Yeah,
anymore.
that's some balls.
Our lawyers say stop doing everything. Like we can't even have this team.
Legally, maybe, but nothing good comes with.
It's a minor league baseball game. You could find something else to do. Tiny bat night, bobblehead night. I could give you 1,000 ideas.
We have a caller that wants to tell a story about an embarrassing moment at a hot dog eating contest.
What line? Line 2?
Line 2.
Line 2. All right. Who is this?
This is Richard Rucker. How are you?
Hey, Richard Rucker. How you doing, man? You staying safe out there?
Yeah, driving right now up to Atlanta.
Dig it, man.
Right.
Well, please, we always think about you. We appreciate how much you actually participate on the show. So what happened at the old hot dog eating contest?
So when I was like 18, 19 years old, my aunt had a company picnic for the company she worked for, and she took me and my brother along as her kids because we couldn't afford dinner that night. I know it's really fucking embarrassing, but whatever.
Well, it's more sad than embarrassing.
Yeah, but we go to her company picnic, and they're having a hot dog eating contest. I'm 19 years old, and all of a sudden, my aunt and uncle start pressuring me into, "You're big, you're a fat guy. You can do this hot dog eating contest." So
you're a big fat enough.
They'll just think you're pregnant. You're okay.
You're a big fat relative. Get in there and eat. Are you pregnant?
Why
Eat.
Why are you so fat if your parents can't afford food? Right?
Well,
shitty food.
They could only afford cheap food. That was
It's always cheap food that gets you.
So I win this hot dog eating contest. I ate 7 in 5 minutes. Nobody else was even fucking trying. I could have coasted, but I didn't.
Free hot dog.
They were free hot dogs, and I hadn't really been eating much. So this is so fucking embarrassing. But for some reason, when they called time, I knew I'd won. I threw my hands up in the air, forgetting that I was holding an open fucking water bottle, and just soaked everybody on the table and let out a Ric Flair, woo!
Yeah.
And it was just so fucking embarrassing. But anyway, I win this $100 gift card to Walmart, and then my aunt and uncle didn't even let me keep the fucking gift card.
That's bullshit. You ate those hot dogs.
You were their fat little worker.
That's fucked up.
Oh, they did take you there,
Well,
and
I at least bought
Tom always the asshole.
Well, I'm just saying it's her business and her employee party, and they knew you were going to do well at this.
I would have done 50-50 with you.
Yeah.
You had to suffer through all
The only thing I got out of the deal was heartburn and maybe future diabetes.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
It was awful.
Did you at least buy something good at Walmart
That's all
when you took it?
Yeah, what did they buy? What did they buy?
I could guess.
Fucking hot dogs. No, they bought several things. I think they used it to buy groceries for the week or whatever. But yeah, we grew up poor. So.
It's not that embarrassing. I thought you were going to shit your pants.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going.
You said woo and threw the other thing.
It was so embarrassing. I put some water on people. I'm still to this day.
Your embarrassment gauge is all thrown off because you growing up so poor that you couldn't afford food. More embarrassing than saying woo and winning a contest.
Wow.
Can we change the story and say you sharted all over yourself and dripped on your leg during the contest?
I think we are now desensitized or resensitized. I don't even know what the term would be. We're looking for more.
Yeah.
Because the people that typically call into the show, stories are so horrible that when we get a normal one that would be embarrassing to the normal people, we can't handle it.
All right.
Take a break?
Yeah, we need to take a break. What was your last story, Seth? This is real quick. Sorry.
It's about gay penguins.
Gay penguins?
Yes, gay penguins. They adopt an egg after attempting to hatch stones at a zoo. A gay penguin couple at a Berlin zoo have been given an egg to adopt after staff noticed their attempts to hatch stones. 2 king penguins, Skipper and Ping, were given the egg last month. The egg given to them was from a female penguin at the zoo who had been unable to hatch her egg for a number of years in a row.
This is great.
So sad for that female penguin.
Why? Well, no.
Hold on. The men in the penguin species, the males,
they're the ones that
there's the one that sit on the eggs and do it. So isn't this a natural? What website are you on, Seth?
This was on a lot of this is a big story.
Randy.
This was on a lot of different stories. It's legit. It's easy to find.
Alex Jones.
They're turning the penguins gay.
But the staff noticed signs that the 2 penguins wanted an egg and had been attempting to hatch like the fish and stones that are around the park.
Yeah.
They have
just shows how stupid you are. It's not even a fucking egg, you dumb.
But since they've gotten the egg, they have been exemplary parents, staying close to each other and protecting the egg from other right-wing extremist penguins.
There it is. Right comedy,
you know, my initial instinct to go to break was right. Always trust that.
Always trust your host instincts. He just snort fart laughs.
Everything was going fine until that.
Well, I thought you guys would like that.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to put Butler in some armor.
Yeah,
a suit of armor.
whack him.
Am I kicking him?
Because we got a gentleman in from the Orlando Black Knights Armored Combat League.
They're white guys. I saw them.
I was just looking at them. They're white.
Of course they're white. They're dressed in armor and fight each other. This
fucking
This
nerds.
is not a minority thing to do. I'm
It's a dirty white thing.
Yeah, it is a dirty white thing.
Yeah. Like Pokemon.
Yeah.
I know.
Excuse my dice fell out of my pocket.
yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah, here
All
we go. The name of this band is Beef. This is new music. The name of the song, Slide. It's from their Bull in the Shade album. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time. Hey there, buddy. Do you know who's number one in fast fun?
Number one in fast fun, Seminole Power Sports.
Seminole Power Sports.
Yeah, it's that impressive, Tom.
Seminole Power Sports in Sanford. They also have Seminole Power Sports North in Eustis, and their showroom is great. If you're into side-by-sides, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, motorcycles, scooters, they have small four-wheelers, jet skis. They have literally every toy, plus accessories, helmets, all the gear,
all
Yeti
the jackets,
coolers.
Yeti coolers, Yeti cups. Did you see that gentleman that emailed us who bought a brand new, I want to say it was like a 150, like a little...
Oh, yes,
a fun little motorcycle.
Yes.
Like, I've never seen anything like that. I think it's a Yamaha product. I think it is.
Yeah, because they have those tiny, like the Groms, but it was not the Grom.
I think it's a competitor of the Grom, and I was like, holy crap, look at that. And he got himself this burgundy little 150, just little bar hopper scoot around.
Yep.
And it's a motorcycle, and I was like, oh, I want that. And then of course my wife is like, no.
I see it right here. So yesterday I did a thing, got myself a Kawasaki Z125. Don Kuhn from Seminole Power Sports.
I think that's who sold me my scooter.
Yeah. He's a sales guy over there, and
it's cool. Look at that little thing.
Yeah, and it's a fun little toy.
Oh my God, I'll wheelie that thing crazy.
Yeah, and then if you want to be like Stewart, who got this little cool
thanks
bike.
for the email, man. Thanks for letting us know that you got your Kawasaki there.
Mm-hmm. And they've got tons of different brands, but
in Eustis they got a Suzuki too. So
Yes.
I mean they basically cover every base. If you want Piaggio, which is the parent company of Vespa, they got that. If you want a Honda Ruckus like me, they got your Hondas.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got it all.
They got a great service department too. I've taken things there before. It's super reasonable, and they do a great job. It's Seminole Power Sports and Seminole Power Sports North.
There it is.
That is Bristol to Memory, the name of the song, wrapped up. It's their brand new single. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Butler's here. Seth Petrozelli is here.
Konnichiwa.
We're having a White Claw party. EJ's here. And then we have some other special guests that will be making their way to the studio now.
Real quick, I know I just saw some of those proofs, and I know
I'll put this on Twitch.
Yeah, Mark Larabelle from Vintage Paper Company. We do a lot of stuff with him, printing.
Yeah, did the headbands,
and he's done a lot of different things for us. You could check it out. But he's doing these iPhone watches, the bands.
Yeah, Apple Watch bands.
Yeah, Apple Watch bands, and they're awesome. And we'll have those up soon for pre-order, because we don't know, like, I don't want to order a shit ton of one color, so he has the ability to, he told me, he's like,
I like this red.
We'll put them up for pre-order, and then his turnaround's like 10 days, so we can find out who wants what, and then put
What
them
about
out
us poros that don't have Apple Watches?
Then you're fucked.
I mean, you could use it. It could be a belt for a small child.
You can tape it to your watch. I don't know.
It could be a dog. I thought it was a dog collar.
It could be a dog collar.
So
Tiny. Really tiny now.
If you buy one, you can do whatever the fuck you want to with it. I don't care.
A cock ring.
Yeah.
Could be a cock ring.
So we got an email a while back from these gentlemen, and they are from Orlando Black Knights Armored Combat Team. And Seth, have you ever seen this remember on the History Channel? I think it was the History Channel.
A lot of them come to my, not these specific guys here, but there's a group that comes to my gym on Wednesdays and does that. They're in armor and they beat the crap out of each other back in my gym.
So I saw this, like they had a reality show for a while. We'll talk to the gentleman about it. But it was dudes that dressed up full armor, like knights, and then they would actually combat, like for full combat. Like it would be, hey, really fight. This is not a play fight. This is not wrestling. It's like actually see who wins in a fight. And they would have, I believe, like dull weapons and things. You know, they wouldn't
had weapons,
actually really hurt each other, but I imagine you just get hurt, and it was pretty fucking crazy. So I was like, I've seen this before. I want to talk to these guys, and I also told them to bring down a suit of armor for Butler to put on because I wanted to, 90s.
Here's 90s. Then we'll stick our dicks in the eye hole and piss in there. We're pissing in your eyes. We'll be right back.
Why would you do this?
That's what 90s.
Like, I'm your employee.
That's what radio guys do. Yeah, come on in, man. Yeah. Welcome, guys. Thanks so much for coming in.
Corey and Alex are here from the Armored Combat League. How you gentlemen doing?
Good.
Dandy.
So tell me about what this is about. I'm not the best host.
What this is about.
Yeah. So how did you guys get into this?
For myself, I actually saw the same show.
Okay.
Right, so Armored Combat League is from that show, so it's the same league that from Night Fight.
Yeah, move that mic just a little bit closer to you so we can get you on there.
So were you into this before, or literally you saw that show and you're like, hey, that looks cool?
No, well, so I've trained in MMA for over a decade, so when I saw it, I get to harness my inner geek. Right? So it's kind of like MMA with full armor on.
No shit. So now, when did you ever do anything with armor before this, or like you saw this particular incarnation of like fighting, and you're like, that looks awesome?
Yeah.
Because to me, it looks like
is this LARPing?
No.
Yeah, explain. Yeah.
So it's full steel armor and full steel weapons. Our weapons are dulled down to 3 millimeters, so they're not sharp, and we don't stab. But everything is allowable. We leverage grappling. At the same time. Yeah.
So basically, it's two people getting full.
Well, it's more than that, right?
Okay.
So we can do melee battles. We're traditionally a melee team, so normally it's 5 versus 5.
Okay.
But we can go as high as 10 versus 10, 20 versus 20. It just depends.
And when you set this up, say you have a 5 versus 5. First, where do you do this? I assume it's not in the Baldwin Park.
No, actually, we train downtown at American Combat Club. That's our gym.
Oh, I love that gym.
Mitch and Vinny are big supporters.
I heard he's got his own gym.
It's awesome. It's clean.
Oh crap!
Just remember, here's the good one.
I'm really good. Me and Mitch and Vinny used to train when we first started, freaking 15 years together. And then
so I've been with them for years.
We all just split off.
Yeah.
And so, do you have to find, because it seems like it's a niche that would be hard to find people to get into, because not only do you have to be into fighting, you have to be tough as shit, but then like the suit of armor, do you provide that?
It's a cost for them. They provide it. Okay. It's consumables, right? So like for MMA guys, our boxing gloves, mouth guards, that's all a consumable product. So they provide their own, but honestly, we've been doing this for a month now, and it is not hard to find people that want to do this. Well, I mean, the team's up to 20 guys already, guys and girls.
So with okay, let's talk about buying a suit of armor, because
where do you go? Men's Warehouse,
dude. I put on.
You're gonna love the way you look.
The helmet, and the helmet. How much does that helmet weigh?
12 pounds.
So that helmet's 12 pounds, and when you put it on, you're like, God damn, this thing is like no joke. And I imagine that they're all custom made. So what is a typical cost of a suit of armor, and how do you even get it?
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you want, right? You're getting what you pay for. So some suits can be about $2,500, but it can be as high as $6,000.
That's what I want.
Right?
Yeah, I want mine. I want mine shiny gold.
Yeah.
No, I get the
real gold.
But you can have all kinds of things, right? They're customizable. But for us, it's important that they're period specific.
Oh, okay,
so
all right.
They have to be historically accurate.
And my wife's period's real specific.
But the weapons have to be as well.
So now what? Because this is how dumb I am about history. Like I just assumed it's all like, oh yeah, the Knights, that was one time, and then all of a sudden it moved on to something.
What comes after that? What came after that?
The 80s.
The 80s came after that.
After Knights were cannons, and after cannons were planes. Oh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what typical period do you find one suit of armor, and then how does it change, and what's the variety?
Yeah, so traditionally we want them to be between the 13th and 16th century.
Okay.
Yeah, and they can have Eastern or Western armor, and you can buy it all over the place. I mean, in Europe, this has been going on for decades. So there's armorers in the Ukraine, in Moscow, all over the place. But we have like Ice Falcon and Andre, who's the owner of the league. He's got the oldest armory in the United States. So.
Really?
It's the real name, by the way.
So,
Ice Falcon.
Ice Falcon, yeah, that's his real name.
That's the real name of his, that's his fighting name as well. Yeah, that's the name of his armory. Yeah.
So we all watched, I assume most of the country watched Game of Thrones, and we're and familiar with like suits of armor. Now, what consists, like you said in that particular time frame, what's good about the armor in that time frame that you guys like, and what does it consist of, like head to toe? Because I imagine it changes. Like we all know about the helmet. Then what?
Yeah.
happens?
Then you've got gauntlets, like we brought this gauntlet, right?
So that's
and
a glove.
A glove.
That's a jack-off glove.
Yeah, it's a massive jack-off glove.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Seth, put that glove on. And
or somebody put the helmet on so I can punch someone.
Seth is afraid of putting it on. He's like, "Did you wash the inside of this? I'm going to get an airborne disease."
As long as I afterwards.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, so and it works well, right? So
I was trying to do the flick it off thing. I can't.
We all.
I can't get my middle
this
finger
is
such a child.
Hey, it's a real thing, right? We use mitten gauntlets like that because we're using steel weapons.
Yeah,
you have finger gauntlets that have armor on your fingers, but there have been people that have lost a finger. They've caught an axe at the junction of the finger. Bye finger.
Oh my God!
Hey, we have cups to say bye fingers.
This guy's on brand.
Yeah. But at the same time, that allows us to punch well.
I got it.
They're striking along with it.
So now,
can you get hurt in this?
That's what I was gonna
Well,
ask.
I mean, it's just like any other sport, right?
Yes.
Football or MMA, right? Guys get hurt all the time. Rugby, yes, you can get hurt. I mean, you're not going to get.
What kind of injuries have you guys sustained doing this type of battling?
It's mainly like bumps and bruises, nasty bruises. You're going to get hit all the time. So
the full pseudo armor. There's like the shoulder, the torso part.
Yep.
What does that consist of? Like something you put over.
So generally, it's full legs, right? It's full arms, greaves which cover here.
When you say full legs, you put the armor on like pants.
Well, no, you strap it on. You have what's called a gambesson underneath. It's a padded garment, so to speak, and then all your armor straps to that.
You've never played a video game in your life. I swear to God, with some of the
What do you learn how to put on armor in the video game?
Yeah.
God,
but yeah, you do.
As simple as
right?
You do. Yeah.
Your armor grows over time.
Yeah, like any game that I play, like whether it's Assassin's Creed, whether it's Witcher, any of that, all of this is in there. So to see that you guys are doing that, I can see the appeal. It's like bridging the gap. And I would imagine Seth could go deep into this because you're a nerd.
I'm a nerd.
Dude, you might want to get in on this because
they do no headshots.
No, but with your ability,
we do headshots.
But you get a helmet on though. But with your ability to be a nerd and you see what I'm saying? Seth's your guy. I mean,
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
You're totally a nerd, man.
About certain things, yes, I guess.
You'd be surprised at how many MMA guys and owners of MMA gyms and black belts and jits are reaching out to us to want to, because they've been doing MMA for so long. They're like, I want to try something different.
And this has got a weird factor to it. I like it, man.
Plus, it's full contact.
I watched it on TV. I swear to God, I thought it was on ESPN one day, and I was watching it, and these guys are whacking each other crazy.
So is it's
loud too.
Once you put on the full, the underneath padding, and I'm sure you got clothes underneath that, and then you strap on.
I go bare ass underneath that.
You put on all the armor. What does it weigh?
Anywhere between 65 and 85 pounds.
God damn, that's a lot. Heavy. So once you're in the armor, because now I want to set up the actual fight. So how do you choose your weapon? Are there rules choosing your weapon? What are you allowed to use?
So there's 3 roles of fighters, 3 different categories of fighters. One is a center. That's basically our juggernaut.
Okay.
So ours right now, David, is 6'5", over 300 pounds. And his job in full armor is to suck up as many little people in the list. We call it a list. It's an old school version of an octagon. right? So
Okay.
it's 30 by 40 and 5 foot high are the fences. So that's his job as the center. Then we have flankers like me. I'm 6'1", 210 pounds. And our job, we're bigger guys, but we're still mobile enough. We flank the lines and beat the crap out of
And then
people.
you got guys like me, the page boys.
Well, no.
They put their armor
You're
on
called-
them.
you're
and then
called a squire.
I cuddle with them later in the haystacks.
No, you're the prize. Yeah, you're the prize at the end. With the
Then I get butt fucked.
We're a co-ed team, right? So we have guys and girls on the team. And then the smaller
you put
individuals.
the coners on the armor.
So no coners.
Are the girls like, help me, help me? You know,
in their
like-
gowns, right? They're maiden gowns.
and they have the pointy hat with the flowy thing off the top because there's no way.
Aja and Anna, right? So Anna's on the team, and she's currently training to, one day have a bid in UFC out of American Combat Club. So she does jits and striking. But anybody below, say, 5'10", under 180 pounds, they're called a guard, and they're meant to just be really fast, right? Light, and it's all about situational awareness. So if I've got this big ass helm on, I can't see behind me.
Yeah.
If a guard gets behind me and puts their foot in the middle of my back, because everything is allowable with the exception of we don't hit in the back of the head, we don't hit at the spine, and we don't go anywhere near the knees. So if I get face planted by someone who's quicker behind me, I'm out. Our rules are simple.
Okay.
If you hit the ground, you're done. You're out of the fight. It's last man standing.
Gotcha. So
stay on your feet.
So you can't grapple?
We can. I mean, we're not going to pull fucking guard. We're not going to do that.
What
right?
I'm saying is you can't take somebody down, put like knee on belly, and bash their head in?
No, because once they're on the ground, you can't touch them anymore.
Oh, got an MMA nerd fighter.
And
You're in the full grapple, bro?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
But
Let's do it.
yeah, knee on belly. You already
Don't
have
jits
80
me, bro.
You've already got 80 pounds of armor on you. So
it's basically you're trying to knock your opponent over onto the ground. What about if you go to your knee? Can you get up for your knee, or is
no.
it any part?
If you take a knee because you've been taking so many hits to the head with a double-handed axe, you're out of the fight.
So, okay, going back to weapons, you allow weapons. What are the rules of choosing a weapon?
Okay, so they got to be period specific, number one. But the most important thing is we want weapons with good kinetic power behind it. We don't have sharp blades, and we're not using any stabs, right? So
Yeah.
double-handed axes are really good for us. Swing the crap out of that. War maces, which is a double-handed mace.
God damn, how heavy is that?
They're pretty heavy.
Like,
they can weigh a little bit.
They're legitimate weapons.
Real
that are
steel.
not
Not
sharpened.
sharp.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
steel weapons. And bastard swords, which is a double-handed falchion. But there's also the guys that want to grapple more. They use a punch shield or a buckler, and then they have a single-handed axe or a single-handed mace, and that lets them have two appendages free to say, get with someone who is close to them, grab them right on their tricep, grab an underhook, and then take them to the ground, hip chuck them, whatever.
It seems like if you had a mace, which is like a
big club.
I'm not talking about the thing, the spiky ball at the end of a chain. Is that the
No,
mace?
I thought you were
What is
talking
that?
about the rapper.
That's
Then he
what-
went
well,
religious. He
what
went
the thing
really
that would-
full religious,
Reverend
but then he
Mace.
came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dirtier than
You're talking
ever.
about the thing that William Wallace killed one of the other.
Yeah.
It's not that.
He swung it.
Okay, it's not
Not
that.
that, no.
So it's just a big hammer.
A bit, yeah. Look at it as like a war hammer, but a mace it's got a long stick, and then it's got a big club on the end of it.
Looks like a broomstick with a pine cone on the top.
It seems
kinda.
like if some person, like you said, the person who owns this particular armor is how big again?
6'5".
6'5".
He's 6'5". If a 6'5" dude with a goddamn giant hammer used his full strength to hit me in the head, even if I had the
it's gonna
helmet
ring
on,
your bell, I think.
Dude, it would ring my bell. Like you think, because there's not an insane amount. There's not like an old leather football helmet in there. It's like tiny padding and a strap to hold my heavy ass helmet on.
So his padding isn't adequate, right? So we're working on that. We do use concussion-proof padding inside our helms.
Okay.
And they're really tight. You'd be surprised, though. When you get hit, you're going to feel it. If somebody hits you with a sword, you're going to hear it. You're not really going to feel it.
Gotcha.
You're wearing this helm for a reason. If you get really whacked, you're going to get your bell rung.
And do you know a lot of the history behind suits of armor and stuff?
Nope.
No.
I like that. Good answer.
Move on.
Good answer. Nope. Good answer.
Because I was going to ask you,
Should have
like,
lied and said you were pregnant.
Go that route, too.
because
That's two. Presto trip. Write that down. Triple pizza party.
I'm just wondering,
Never
like,
happened.
in actual war and stuff, like when these,
What is it good for?
when knights and people would fight in these suits of armor, I would assume that back then the whole strategy was get your tiniest stabbing sword into the joints. You know, like,
Oh, yeah.
his neck, like you're stabbing
like Needle from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you're trying
want
to
a tiny little sword that'll I want to get right in this joint.
And you're not incorrect, right? A lot of the injuries happen when people catch you at the junction of your armor.
Because that's the weakest point.
Yeah, you see a lot of people, if they're taking an axe to the clavicle, you'll get a busted clavicle. I mean, but there's neck protection. It's full suits of armor.
If anybody wanted to get you, they just have to aim for your legs. Because everything else is.
Well,
is
I forgot
normally...
to put on my armor down there. It's like washing.
Well, you won't wear
Look
that.
at his toes because he's going to wear flip flops for sure.
Oh, but they're armored. They're armored flip flops. They're made of metal.
So
hold less mud.
Now, I would assume that as people get into these types of things, like you start getting better and better at it, and then you start getting more and more strategy to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's kind of like back in the day how MMA started. It was like, and you guys know, it was like they just put the this guy is good at boxing against this giant
like
sumo
Hoist
wrestler.
Gracie versus Tank Abbott.
Yeah,
right?
and then
you know, it's like we got a street fighter versus a guy who actually a master of his craft.
Yeah. So then, as it worked itself out, people got fine-tuned more and more until the point...
Oh, pause for 1 second.
Okay.
Twitch, if you do have questions, just throw them in the chat. Samantha or myself will gather those and we can ask the guys.
And, by the way, Seth, put that helmet on. See what... Like, could you... I want to see if you could imagine fighting.
Nobody's going to hit you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really feel it.
See, I think Seth looks good with the helmet. Look at him.
Yeah.
Wait.
It might not smell
He did
very
a sniff
good.
test.
But could you imagine...
Oh, it's a leather thing.
Yeah.
Seth, you look good like that, dude.
Yeah, man, come on down.
I was made for this.
I think you kind of were. Yeah. Hold on. Let me put
Seth,
the camera on.
Does it seems like it seems scarier.
You look good, dude.
Like, it's counterintuitive because when I put that thing on during the break, it seems scarier to me to fight with that thing on than to fight with it without it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so constricting and heavy.
He's a child. He's a child.
Keep it on.
So
that's cool. What do you think? Could you do that?
Yeah, I could. I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
It'd be
I
fun.
think
I want to be in samurai outfit though. Not.
Then you can. You can as long as it's period specific.
But what happens is a lot of the other guys run around and we want to hit those guys that look like samurais because there's not that many that go out there to do that.
I want to be the nerd of the nerd that does that.
Subgenre.
Going back to my long question is like, has it gotten to the point where
is there ever a
I
don't think so.
know. Has it gotten to the point where they've realized the technique and the strategy so much where it's not like you see in the movies where two people are fighting back and forth, shields like hitting each other, where it's just like if I can get around the back of this guy fast and just kick him over, I'll win. and then you start
running.
You start worrying about winning
hard though.
Instead of like the the overall pageantry of like making it look cool.
Yeah, so our sport is it is a sport, right? There's over 400 fighters in the ACL in the United States. There's over 52 chapters. We have chapters also in Canada and France, in Europe, and Mexico now. So, we do tournaments. As a matter of fact, here in Orlando, we're hosting the Eastern Conference Championship in December.
No shit.
Yeah. Well, so we'll have...
I want to see that.
Yeah, you guys come out, right?
Yeah,
So
you guys got to come back because I want to see it at its highest level.
We'll have over 40 guys fighting.
Rad.
Yeah.
Now
I would go to that for sure, man.
And we're trying to get the Highland Games to come out so they can throw
Is
balls
there beer?
and flip
'Cause
telephone. Yes.
Yeah, okay, I want beer.
So okay,
It's period specific beer.
How
that's not
meat.
No, we're not having any meat.
Meat, right? I like meat. I like meat.
Yeah, I like meat too.
I love
It'll
meat.
fuck you up.
Oh, that's great.
So like
Viking's blood.
if you don't have any experience fighting in armor, like let's say like the championships are coming up, and I just Seth like signs up to be in this, and now Seth's a good fighter.
He's got technique. For sure.
He's been training for a long time. He's fit and whatever. If we just threw Seth in there with the armor, would he like actually beat a lot of people, but just because he's good, or does everybody in the league they have too much experience fighting in armor for Seth to ever beat them?
Well, I mean, Seth could beat a few of them, I'm sure, but the concept is understanding what it's like to wear 80 pounds of armor and make movements and fight at the same time. And a lot of people don't realize that when you've got the helm on, you're breathing right into it, right? So it's kind of like wearing a high altitude mask while you're out there.
Difficult.
So that's the most important thing is getting used to the weight while you're making
I'm
body
breathing
movements.
my fish burps constantly.
Salmon burps.
Was it from salmon or fish oil?
Yeah, so
there's
there's chapters all over the country that have varying levels of success.
Somebody asked how many chapters are there worldwide that participate.
Well, we have 52 in the Armored Combat League, but there's multiple different. There's all kinds of leagues. They have They've got a championship in Europe where it's 150 versus 150 full-on armies that go out and beat the crap out of each other.
Like, they just run at each other like Braveheart style?
I would like to watch that at the Amway.
But there's many
I would watch
different,
that.
there's
That's
many different
awesome.
leagues, but we are the largest league in the United States.
Wow.
Damn.
If you think, like, every once in a while, like, you hear a historian talk about, like, what it meant to actually fight hand-to-hand combat with swords and shit, like, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
We
have romanticized it in movies and
most people would
television
run.
and video games. Yeah, but we
Short
make it.
and run.
You make it look
Yeah.
so easy, and there's no way to describe that level of confinement and claustrophobia you have when you're inside this tiny little box.
And it feels weird when you have that helmet on, even though you have it on, and you're staring across the list at some other big guy that has a helmet on and is swinging an axe.
What's
And
the
you're
most
like, "Holy crap."
terrifying to me is what you described as the guy that got behind me, and I don't know he's there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I feel a fucking axe to the back, or whatever.
Well, we
You
don't
said
do-
not the
no
spine,
spine
but,
shots.
But he got around me, and next thing you know, he's kicking me or whatever,
But
and
the
I turn
armor
around
works.
and I'm getting right in the head.
The armor does work, though. It's not like you're feeling every single blow.
Is it scary the first time you guys strap it on? You get out there. I mean, you decided you want to do this, so you're the newbie. You get out there. Is it scary?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be kind of scary because of the lack of visibility.
Yeah. The first few times it's scary.
Yeah.
You're like, holy crap. And you really have to have situational awareness when you're in the list. You got to know, hey, there's 5 guys on the team. I might be engaging with this particular guy, but did my friend get his butt beat and now he's coming to jack me up?
So when it's 5-on-5, it's the team. It's whoever's left on the team is the winner. So it could be like 3, and then the 3 people are left, right?
Yeah, or it could end up being a duel where it's 1 on each team and the winner wins all.
Do you guys pull axes on the girls?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like,
Don't hit us hard.
I was going to say pull punches, but it didn't sound good.
No. I mean, there's separate female tournaments.
So you
as well.
whack them right in the tits. Can you dent their tit cones? Do they have tit cones?
They don't really have those.
No cones.
They don't have cones.
I
No
have the same.
cones.
Yeah, horny.
So
they need tit cones.
So it's
like She-Ra had tit cones. Every good female Valkyrie, they get the nice tit cones, But then my wife, she wouldn't fill it up. Like, what do you got in there for snacks?
Hollow tit cones.
Yeah, I got some fucking beef jerky in there.
They're just dent in because there's nothing there to stop.
No. She fills it with snacks. That's what I'm asking. Like, what do you got? Oh, you got golden Oreos. Give me that.
Is there someone considered like best in the world, or like the Michael Jordan of this sport?
His name is Michael Jordan. Yeah, it's weird.
You could throw him in some armor. It'd be awesome.
Like I imagine what people think of like the Wall from Game of Thrones, like just some gigantic dude.
That guy? He's a strong man.
We have some of the biggest centers in all of our chapters. They're really big dudes. I mean, we're talking with a couple strong men that want to join the team. One guy's, I think, 345 pounds, 6'7".
How do you knock that guy down? It's impossible.
You
right?
kneel behind them, and you kneel behind them.
Oh, you do the nerd.
You do the nerd push.
It would take a few people.
Yeah.
To go at him, and then you're just whacking his head until he's. I don't want to do this anymore. And
King.
But it's also about gas, right? So stamina is the most important thing. And just about. Flatulence works too.
It stinks in here. Echo.
Shit, my armor.
But the gym we train at, and we train these guys for stamina. We get in there and we do CrossFit circuits. We do powerlifting
with the armor on.
No.
Oh, okay.
One day we will, but this is a new team. We're just at it. A month now with 20 guys and girls. So
that's a lot.
So, what is the biggest concern when you're in the armor as far as getting hurt? Like, what's the most common injury you guys see from this particular sport?
I mean, common injury, you're going to get a lot of bruising, like massive bruising. And there's the possibility for concussion, sure. But, if you're not wearing adequate armor and you take an axe to the arm, you're going to break your arm.
Yeah.
So safety for me as the chapter president, it's most important that everybody's in the right kit.
Do you guys test it? Like you have some sort of gauge? Like, oh, you're in the, like this armor's cheap. Where'd you get it?
We use trusted armorers.
I got it off of Amazon. I got it from a place in the Middle East, Fono BB.
I went to Party City and picked out the next costume.
Actually, that's what this one's all about. Like, remember when he brought this one and he's like, "This is he brought a gauntlet that was not quite up to scratch."
Yeah.
And you could totally tell the difference, and it was incredible.
And that one is up to scratch, correct?
Yeah. And I wouldn't allow anyone to get in the list if they didn't have adequate armor. And we do test it. So if someone wants to come on board and we put a helmet on them, smack them upside their head so they know what it feels like.
You guys should train nude, but use pool noodles.
It's like
I feel like it as a bonding experience.
It's like the weighted bat in baseball.
Yeah, we'll start nude with foam, with pool noodles. And
a
those,
pool noodle to the nuts would sting.
Yeah, it would sting.
And so, goddamn, like it seems to me that this is like not a fun thing. Like
nothing's fun to you.
I know, but like I understand like training for MMA and stuff, but it's like it seems like you're complicating it and making it way harder.
I like the idea of collecting armor, making it look cool.
I don't know. I'd love to watch it.
Specific.
Yeah.
I like the idea of tinkering with it. If it got dented up, I got to repair it in some way. Like there's some
traditional. There's a traditional aspect to it. I guess.
Yeah, and I like the idea of there being like if you wanted to be samurai armor, you got samurai armor. I mean, your bigger target, maybe a little more exotic. You know, these guys want to whack you around your whatever that helmet that looks like a stormtrooper.
What are other styles?
Stormtrooper helmets gotta be. They stole that from samurais, right?
Yeah.
Looks like a fucking samurai helmet to me.
Okay. What are some other styles that people fight in, or is it only within that specific time frame for you guys?
It's only within that specific time frame. I mean, but you can have Italian armor or German armor, Russian. I mean, there's all kinds of different suits of armor.
That's pretty cool.
It's insane. And
which is the one in the haunted house that you always see? You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows.
I think that's Italian.
That's Italian.
It's probably 15th century, early Italian.
Absolutely.
Scooby-Doo.
It is.
Okay, Scooby-Doo armor.
Yeah. Do people fight in that?
The only reason I know that is because the last Assassin's Creed, you go to Italy and you're running around and all the armor looks like that.
My kit is an early 15th century Italian.
Oh, you got the Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
But it's degrading to call it the Scooby-Doo.
It's blackened. It's got the bronze Crusader cross on it. It's crazy. But the coolest draw for a lot of people is that they get to pick the aesthetic value, what they want to look like. Right, as long as it fits our safety regulations and it's period specific, they can do just.
So I can do an upside down cross on that instead of a regular cross.
Yeah, sure.
I might get hit.
Wow. I can do an atheist type style.
Longwood Lures in our Twitch chat room nailed it. He said Dan would not like this. One ding in his armor would drive him insane. Absolutely correct. I'd be the best looking fucking knight out there, but you guys will whack it one time. I'd be like, I'm out. You ding my armor. Got to go home repair this.
I yield. Do the guys
bust this out?
Do they like knock the dings out after to keep?
I mean, not really. Some people use stainless, right? And it's not really going to ding that much. Some people prefer to use mild steel. That gets dented like crap, right? It just depends on what you want. But yeah, if it's a bad enough
put
ding,
some Neverdol on there and rub it out.
Yeah, if it's bad enough, you've got to take it back to an armorer and they bang it out and repair it. Yeah, you'll lose rivets during battle and stuff.
Is there someone local that does that, like an armorer?
There's a few.
Just take it to a motorcycle shop, right?
Well, I mean,
not really. But there's more people into this than you guys would think. I mean, in less than 30 days, we have over 700 followers on Facebook.
Wow,
that's a lot.
People are just kind of interested. They're like, really? This is
it's cool. I'd watch it.
So, and you can check it out on Facebook.com, Orlando Black Knights. And when's the next competition that people can go and buy tickets for?
December 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where's it going to be?
It's going to be in Eustis. It's actually going to be...
Everything's in fucking
Eustis.
But
so it's at this cool venue. It's called the Farmhouse on 44. So it's like Lake County's biggest barn
Seth's
wedding
house
venue.
Farmhouse inspired.
Probably the same decor going on.
Yeah. It's 15 acres. It's awesome. We're going to have a bunch of people out there. It's going to be super cool.
Seth, what would it take, money-wise? I know what it takes you to
holding
read
his
the
hip
news.
sadly. Leave him alone.
So if we got you...
I can't get hit in the head anymore, man.
No, we'll tell the other person to like it. We'll do
body shots only. Done.
Yeah, body shots only.
I don't need money for that.
Come on now, Mitch is telling me he wants to just beat my ass with a bow staff. and no armor. He wants me to be in full armor, and he's going to beat my ass with a bow
always
staff.
been crazy.
What was he going to wear?
That's called the Donatello.
He's going to wear a banana hammock.
Yeah.
So because in a normal fight, Seth versus the 6'5" gentleman, this armor is like Seth would win because Seth's got the I don't know, this gentleman's training, but Seth's got probably more training. He'd win the fight.
Are you talking about a normal fight?
Yeah, like a normal MMA fight. But then this armor fight, I'm interested to see if Seth can stand up to this guy that's been doing
I'll
this.
be like your son and just running circles by myself around him. Like he's going to
use your speed.
I'll try as much as I can.
Yeah,
I get good stamina still too. So.
But how much speed are you going to have in a full set of armor? This says Twitch.
I do sprints with my 50-pound weight vest on all the time.
All right. Did you think?
Not that it's probably much different. I'm sure.
That's
but
why I actually think Seth would be really good at this.
I train like that all the time still. So.
You would just have to have a special helmet like Antonio Brown.
Like
right?
you know the sport more than anybody. So what chances would you give Seth against the 6'5" gentleman, full armor, regular fight?
I mean, if you watch the show, right, there was an MMA guy that came out and he got his butt whooped. But see, that's the thing, right? So it's just like anything else. If you train for it specifically and you're used to it, like when we do cardio, a lot of us do cardio with 60-pound weight vests on.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Just to get used to that weight. That's the biggest hindrance for a lot of people. Is, you can fight, sure. And I can too without anything on, right? But if you're wearing 80 pounds of armor, it changes the game for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, completely.
Most people are in our Twitch chat room are saying that Seth would shit his armor up.
Well, that's a given. I mean, that wasn't a question.
Well, you're wearing pants.
He's the Brown Knight.
The Brown Knight.
Yeah, I'm going to start my own league, the Brown Knights.
Well, guys, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, appreciate it, y'all. That's super interesting.
Cool. Again, Orlando Black Knights. Check them out on Facebook, and then go. I want to check this out, and I would still want to set this up, and then start doing gambling on it. It's like,
you're going to gamble?
And Twitch, like I want to film this for Twitch.
But
like,
you got to old school gamble with like coins that are period specific.
And
you have to toss
15th century coin,
or like a leather satchel of coins, and you toss it out. And it lands on the table.
I maketh it rain.
Yeah. You throw that down there.
Do you ever have guys that go full on like how an actor?
Do they talk like?
Yeah. Well, I've had a couple at the gym.
Yeah.
I've had a couple at the gym. I'm like, you got to tone that crap down.
Yeah.
I'm here to make you throw up and get in shape so you can fight. I'm not.
I'm not here for your
nerd stuff.
Yeah.
Stand down.
And there's no dice allowed past the front
dice.
door.
Okay. Do when they're fighting, do they go into character and start talking?
We haven't seen that yet.
Oh, okay.
No.
It just makes you want to hit them, right? Bigger target. Well, thank you guys. That's really interesting. Appreciate you guys
Thanks
coming in and sharing with us.
So we can come back and tell you more, right?
I'm serious.
I got to tell you,
I want to put Seth in a full suit, and I want him to, no headshots, but I want to see a real fight.
I think he'd do great.
I'm
not doing anything athletic for you until I get paid for my wrestling match that I did. Almost.
Oh, come on! Again,
I'm not letting that
Why
down.
don't you just pay him?
You got the publicity.
Because it wasn't the we're going to do the graffiti on the side of your gym.
This is
6 months for that.
I told you what happened.
This is a joke to you, but to him it's serious, and I don't understand why you just don't pay him.
Well, because now I told him the whole deal when we made the agreement is to come out with book a gym, do the thing.
That was nowhere near any sort of agreement. I got him wrestlers. I told him how to do it. I did all this stuff for him, and I wrestled the main
how much
event.
does he owe you?
I made you a star.
It's not that much. It's a principle. It's $100.
You need to pay him.
Whatever. It's $100.
I will lose a friend over $100. I don't give a shit.
Oh my God! I told you it was serious, dude.
I saved my money.
Anyway, I know that's a lie.
We gonna get out of here, buddy?
Yeah, I think we should.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Plug some stuff, and then I'll tidy us up here and get us out of here.
We got a bunch of new merch coming on the site. The straw hats are on there now. We got the BDM dry fit shirts coming soon. We got the Apple Watch wristbands.
Yep, that's going to be a pre-order. Cabana hats are up, right?
Yep.
And there's some left. So if you didn't get one of those, you do have time to grab one.
The Tuffy's CBE meetup.
I know where your mind is. You're already floating in the pool with your sons.
August 24th. If you enjoy marijuana, attack Seth's gym. Because he's against you.
I have nothing against.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
He's certainly not the Green Knight.
I have nothing against marijuana. Put that out there.
Like a bunch of high guys who are slowly running at you.
They're like zombies.
You're not going to do well against Seth and his friends.
They're just barely fingering the glass.
And we got the BDM school drive on Sunday at 11 a.m. at Johnny's other side.
Yeah, go support it, whether it's financially or whether you want to drop off some school supplies.
So, Seth, talk about your gym for a second. Your karate class.
Which one? The karate or the jungle?
Yeah,
Which one?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Well, you got jungleorlando.com. We're actually doing a bunch of back to school specials right now for all the kids, for the kids classes that we got going on there, which is great. I don't do kids necessarily for my karate program.
Well, that's not what I heard.
Damn it.
I mean, they're close to kids, but they're 18.
But no, I actually get emails asking for like 5-year-olds to like 12-year-olds. I start at 13 for the karate program and up for the karate program.
Gotcha.
So if you're interested in doing any sort of
What
karate,
about
and I got a couple BDMs since I posted that video of me doing the kata on there.
That was cool.
I got people like, oh, it reminded me of when I was younger doing this. I miss it, blah blah blah. So it's kind of cool to see.
Would you do private lessons for Tom's son Tommy?
I actually did a private lesson for a BDM the other day, actually, and I never do private lessons ever.
Do you want your son to do private lessons, and then that way, the next time that
seriously, I'll
bigger
teach,
girl,
I will teach him. I got smacked by a bigger, thicker girl in elementary school.
I got my nose broken by a big black mama at a basketball game. In high school.
I just don't know.
Fell down the entire bleachers, bleeding profusely, and
Wait, you
carried.
shouldn't have asked her if she was pregnant.
No, I didn't ask her. I told her to please quiet down. I'm watching the sporting event, man.
But if you do want any information on the karate or the jungle, go to either karateoforlando.com or just follow me on Instagram at SilverbackSeth and shoot me a DM.
There you go.
And Samantha, plug your podcast.
SemanticsPodcast.com, Patreon.com/semantics.
Who's on this week?
This week we have the Gilligans.
Oh,
Tommy
nice.
G and his
Love
wife
it.
Brandy.
He knows karate, right?
Nope, that's jiu-jitsu, but that's fine.
He knows. All right.
He doesn't.
You already do. He knows karate more than I do, right? We could all agree on that.
No.
Yeah.
He's got a better shot at it, that's for sure.
He knows. All right. Guys, we appreciate it. We will see you next week.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.
And now it's time for the Tom and Dan end of the show footnotes. Today you heard music from
Passport. It's their latest single, and it reminds me a lot of, was it LaRue from back in the day? Yeah, LaRue. But you heard Passport, an electro-pop trio from Cincinnati, and their brand new song, Bingo Light. I'm sure that we can expect new music from these guys very soon. After that was new music from Good Riddance. Now, they've got a brand new album out. Of all things, it has been entitled Thoughts and Prayers, and it's a really, really good album. One of the best things about it is 50 cents of every album sold will go to the Second Harvest Food Bank. You heard the song Our Great Divide. These guys have been doing this for 25 years, and I expect they'll probably do 25 more. Have you heard of Boston basement rockers Beef? Well, I had not, but these guys have this like rad Lemonheads kind of vibe to them. This is their sophomore album, and you heard their song Slide from their brand new Bull in the Shade album. We closed out the show with new music from Bristol to Memory. Now, I needed to be emotional for a second. You know, sometimes we all need to do that. You heard their newest single, Wrapped Up. And on that note, have a wonderful weekend, guys. And we'll see you on Monday for the BDM shows.